BJ Nix, are you here?
Present.
Present. Spoonie, Timothy Spoonie.
Present, sir.
Margaret and Mary. Do we have a Margaret and Mary?
Yes. Cool. And the margaritas.
Right. Class here. We're ready. Let's go.
Yes, let's go.
Okay.
This is the time to line up behind your team, to support your team. Have faith in that team.
You know, it's peaks and valleys. You know, it can't always be good. And as I always tell people, you're never as good as you think you are, and you're never as bad as you think you are. But when you do know about
house call, Trayvon Diggs, pick six. It's coming. They see it. Knocked away. Oh, Gregory. Hurts in trouble. 3 Cowboys wrap him up, make it 4. Micah Parsons is unblockable.
I was wondering for a second. It was a little bit of a pause there for a second, wasn't it? And I was like, wait. I was like, oh, are we going to get on or we're not going to get on? I didn't know. Man, what is going on, Cowboys Nation? You are now rocking with Pick Six Sports, which you got Nix, Spoonie, Professor O. We're in the building for episode 2 of Freestyle Friday, part of the new and improved YouTube channel. Obviously, y'all know during the week, you're going to catch some of the spaces on Twitter. If you're following us on Twitter, on the backside of that, you're going to catch the Pick Six Sports live show each and every week. But on Fridays, time to kick back a little bit, you know, as we start the Cowboys Happy Hour space, and, you know, grab your favorite adult beverage, maybe your favorite beer, pale ale, brewski, wherever you want to call it, as Matt Owens about to, bless the game up with what you got tonight real quick.
Just enjoyable, fresh, crisp, refreshing Sweetwater IPA. Local brewery.
Sweetwater. Okay.
Can't go wrong.
Okay. Spoonie, what you got over there? Spoonie, you got a little something.
Right here.
A little. Okay.
Spooney's like, excuse me while I just go top shelf this evening.
I'm going top shelf.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I got a cup here. I'm keeping it local here in Texas. Mary would approve of this. A little. Oh, cheers, my guy. And rocking the one and only. Oh, hold on. Message. Sorry, got some stuff in the background here, real quick. Sorry. Oh God, turn it down. What am I doing? On the backside of that series, trying to talk to me now. Great. Rocking out the Tito's, little Tito's tonight for me. On the vodka standpoint, my guy Robert's in the building says, "What's up, boys? Are you letting it hang?" I mean, we're
Fridays. We're untucked tonight. We are just
especially on Friday nights. We needed that, Mary, for this show. Actually, is what we needed, because Friday nights is about letting it hang and being untucked. If you don't know what we're talking about, go check out Thursday's episode, season 4, episode 3 of the I Object segment there towards the end, and you'll kind of see exactly what's being talked about right now. I got Donald Weaver's in the house, hitting with Spoonie, saying "ha with the big bottle." Spoonie with the big bottle on deck. Yeah. The big fresh from the barber and ready. Me and Spoon. Look, we appreciate everybody sitting here that came over from the Cowboys Happy Hour Twitter space. Came over to rock with us. Man, we had a great discussion. In general, shout out to Tad Prescott that came through the building and came through for a little bit, and everybody else that came through. Man, it was a fun time. If y'all don't know, as this is a new show for us, it's more about interaction. We're kind of taking what we do in the Twitterverse with the spaces and the different tweets and whatnot, and bringing it over here on this side. If you're on the YouTube side, because I know we're on Facebook, I know we're on Twitter live streaming, but if you're on the YouTube channel, we got a pin to the top. You'll see the thing, the website says StreamYard. We more than welcome you. We had some people come through last week. We more than welcome you to hit the link, come on in here, jump on the live stream with us, and guess what? If you don't want to show your face, you don't have to. You can say no to the camera. You still come on here and get it off. And we will open up the phone lines. Now, last week, we had an Eagles fan do some wild stuff on the phone line. So hopefully, we don't have that this week. But we'll see what happens. But it's all about us and delivering content and really, realistically, man, enjoying and hanging out with y'all. So here we are. We got our feet kicked up. Everybody's got their favorite, some sweet water, some of that aged, as Spoonie said earlier, aged tequila on deck, and man, a little local house, a little Tito's over here for me. So if everybody's having a fantastic Friday, man, go and the chat with some flame emojis, or better yet, hit with a TGIF, man. Hopefully you're like me. I'm off for the weekend. Professor O, are you done for the weekend work-wise?
Yeah, I'm good for the weekend. I'm actually going to the Braves game tomorrow night, which I'm excited about because
Nice.
Freddie Freeman, LA Dodger now, is in town. He got his ring actually tonight at the game, but he's going to be there tomorrow, so it'll be my first time to see him in another uniform, but I get to pay my respects. And I ordered it's not.
Does he get his ring tomorrow? Are they going to give him his ring?
He actually got it tonight. They did a whole ceremony for him.
Okay,
it was
okay.
Cool. They rolled out the carpet, gave him his flowers. It was a good moment. But tomorrow I'm wearing the Ronald Acuna ATLians jersey. So I have a little bit of that Outcast local flavor with the jersey. So it's pretty cool. I'm excited to rock it. I just got it in the mail a few weeks ago. I haven't worn it yet, so debuting it tomorrow night. So yeah, it's gonna be a good weekend.
Yeah, big facts. And Spoonie, big weekend on deck for you, or are you just chilling?
Oh, we're chilling, hanging, drinking. I got some good folks coming through, some food and stuff like that. We have a couple of games, one game tomorrow at Brownsville, hosted by the NYPD girls basketball team. So we're gonna check that out. My wife loves to scout, so see we got anybody.
Fun time.
Yeah, so,
right.
Fun
time. Yeah, I just had my cousin come through, kind of bless up my AC, having some issues, but we're good. The joys of home ownership, if you will.
I have a funny story for you guys about that. So yesterday at work, it was like 99, right? I think it was 99.
Okay.
My coworker called, and I was like, I could go to the office, but it's hot. I'm gonna hop in my car really quick and take this call. So I crank up the engine, Bluetooth kicks on, and I'm like, it's hot in here. So I crank up the AC, max, and I don't feel anything coming out. So I start having that panic moment, like, no, don't tell me my AC went out right in the peak of summer. Then I realized for some reason I accidentally hit the defrost button. So I was just trying to defog my windows so AC wasn't coming out of the vent. So close call, crisis averted. But yeah, I felt like an idiot when I realized that. So,
but again, crisis averted. And that's
crisis
what really
averted.
matters.
I had AC. Once I hit that button, magic.
Boom, magic. Big facts. On the other tail end of that, my brother, him and his wife, they're going Sunday to the hospital. They're inducing, and he will be welcoming his first child into the world. I will officially be a blood uncle, and he's coming in hot, ladies and gentlemen. She's having a linebacker. He's almost 10 pounds.
Wow, that's amazing though. Congratulations.
I was 10 pounds 8 ounces.
Yeah,
That doesn't shock me. That doesn't shock me.
No,
His
right,
personality, I wouldn't expect anything less.
Right. Big facts. So super excited about that.
I picture Spoonie having a beard too. Is it just me? Like I picture Spoonie coming out day one with a full beard,
ready to rock. Yeah. So right about this time, we're going to get in here and start really doing the Cowboy talk, man. Once again, I hope everybody's having a fantastic Friday. And as Professor Charles said, we're untucked tonight. That's where we're at. We are #untucked. So right about now, free 99. Make sure you hit the like button for us. We appreciate that. If you haven't subbed to us yet, Go ahead and hit the sub. If you are on Facebook, man, if you're on your phone, man, look, you got YouTube. Just dive over there, Pick Six Sports, man. Come drop us a sub, man. We appreciate it. And of course, share it to all your social medias and let the people know the good word. So we appreciate it. But with that being said, oh wait, and one other thing, up top the entire night, it's right there. Look, boom, tagged at the top of the YouTube. Right, you can click that link, come in here, and kick it with us and be live, and go from there. My God, Tyler, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Hall says getting ready for Dallas. We need a linebacker. Facts. And my brother always said, "Yeah, I got the football already. When he comes out, I'm putting it in his hands." Day one, I said, okay. My brother Danny, I said, okay.
You said he's gonna be a 10
So-
pounder though. We also need a swing tackle.
We do need a swing tackle.
We need a swing
You ain't
tackle.
wrong.
So either way, just get him practicing both sides of the ball, and we'll have him ready to go.
Well, I mean, and young Felix, who was out there this week as you were in Dallas, Professor O, and going through the camp there. I mean, looks like we already got our next Bob Hayes on deck. So we get him,
ready.
and we
He is
get
ready.
my uncle, and I get my nephew up here, linebacker. I mean, we're ready to rock.
Yeah,
Good.
no, he's ready.
The upcoming Cowboys team right there.
Boom, hitters in the building. 651 hitter right here. What's good?
Right.
You know what it is. So yeah, real quick though. So we'll kind of pivot and kind of pick up the conversation from the Twitter space. And I kind of let out with this, and Spoonie, me and you both kind of got into this diatribe, if you will, of we talked about the news and notes last night of the camp,
Right.
and we know the official day, right? Everybody's reporting on the 26th. Man, I'm just a little bit more hyped today than I was yesterday about it. And I'm excited about it. And as we talk about, it's the honeymoon season because everything's great. But I'm excited about the battles and the things that are coming. And we're going to see this team come together, if you will, right? So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, everybody in the chat, everybody here, my number one thing that I want to look at, that I have my binoculars on when we get to training camp, offensive line. That's where I'm at. In general. So I'm gonna pivot around that, and we'll kind of break that down and get into it. Professor O, what is the number one thing that you want to see getting into camp? Now, shout out, whoa, hold it up, put it up, hey, fire emojis for my guy Donald, real quick. Everybody, fire emojis for Donald. My man just subscribed. Let's go. Let's
Good
go.
look.
Shout out to my guy Donald, man. Bang, appreciate you, brother. On the backside of that, though, without the excitement of the new sub, the number one thing that you're looking at as we're going into training camp, July 26th.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think you nailed it. Offensive line. What do we look like from a depth standpoint? What does Tyler B look like this year versus last year? And again, we've had chats. If you have not had a chance to check out any of season 4, we're not calling Tyler Smith because we already have a Tyler and we already have another Smith. So we're calling them by their numbers just to make that clear.
73.
So when I say Tyler, I'm talking about Tyler Biotis. We need to see his development. We need to see Terrence Steele's development. We need to see what these swing tackles look like. We need to see if Tyron Smith, 77, can stay healthy. So I'm excited to see the offensive line. Not a position I personally get excited about usually because I'm a skill guy. I'm all about the receiving options, the defensive backs, the safety room. Like that's what I play. It's what's near and dear to my heart. But this year, I'm all in. Sign me up. I am all invested into paying attention to the offensive line. So O-line for me.
All right, Spoonie.
I'll change it up a little bit. I mean, I said O-line at the space. I'm changing it a little bit. I'm going to go linebacker. We all know Michael Parsons is the real deal. But what's behind Michael Parsons? We know Jabril Cox, his first year back from injury, was out the whole year last season. We understand LVE signed to a 1-year deal. We don't know the future of him, what's going to happen with him. We also know Hardman, the rookie we drafted. We don't know if this is going to be a redshirt year for him this season. It's a lot of questions at linebacker, and this is when the questions came up: are we going to trade for somebody like Deion Jones, who's available from Atlanta, or are we going to go sign somebody? The depth behind Michael Parsons at linebacker is kind of funny for me.
10-4. And here's the thing about it. The big thing, as I talked about before, offensive line. Like we can kind of break down and kind of get into, the center battle and the number 24 pick, number 73, never playing guard and going there. And we can kind of even talk about, obviously, Terrence Steele moving forward as the day one guy at right tackle. But I'm swing tackle guy. Professor O, I know you've talked about this a lot as well. Like, we don't have a swing tackle per se with experience on this roster, right? Because we go back to the draft. They had worked out a gentleman from the Chargers. Name escapes me right now. He had, I think it was around Tevy, right? About 30 starts, I believe, in the NFL. He didn't play last year due to injury. They worked him out prior to the draft. They drafted Wilinsico right in the 5th round, and they came out and said, we're not signing nobody for swing tackle. So it's basically Ball and Wilinsico right now as we're heading into camp. Scary times when we think about still being the first time starting at right tackle, and then we kind of pivot into number 77, and we kind of know his history, recent history, that he hasn't been, played a full season. It's been a while. There's a song. It's been a while. There's a song out there. So that's scary when you think about what this team is going to do moving forward. So, yeah, I don't know. Swing tackle is a very key thing for us to really look at as we're getting into camp, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, for most teams, your swing tackle is a guy that you're like, break glass in case of emergency. We'll see what we have there. The Cowboys, it's very near and dear to our heart because there's a strong likelihood we will see them out there. With most teams, it's just we need somebody that we feel comfortable in a pinch can play. We expect to be pinched. Like, we're expecting that to happen. So we need to see, well, let's go walk through the door, or Josh Ball walk through the door if we're not going that vet route. I do think it was interesting, too. I don't know if you guys heard the interview. They played it on the volume earlier this week. So shout out to Vach and Skywalker Steel. But, well, let's go ahead and interview. And he's talking about being able to learn behind Tyron Smith, number 77, saying being his backup. He literally just said, Josh Ball, slide you right over there.
Get up out of here.
Because I'm learning from, because he was like, I'm learning from a vet. I'm learning from this guy, the person I'm backing up. He didn't say anything about Ball. So I don't know if it was intentional or just a, little slip there, but I thought that was kind of an interesting comment. But yeah, I'm right there with you. I would like to see a vet swing tackle. Maybe that's something we back pocket depending on how the first week or two of training camp looks. Maybe we reconsider it. So we'll kind of see. Because if you guys remember last year, and it's maybe not exactly apples to apples, but with Malik Hooker, we went into training camp with DeMonte KZ and Jaron Kearse. We had already signed 2 safeties. And then early on, there were some injuries and other things, and then Malik Hooker's medicals checked out, and then we decided to bring him in during camp. So we have a precedence of doing that before. I just thought it was a little bit interesting that we've announced already, we're going with these young guys. I guess part of it's nice to give them a shot, but I wouldn't give them a very long leash if it was me. If they struggle pretty quickly, I'm on the phone calling vets and bringing them in to work out.
Right. And of course, again, on Freestyle Fridays, we told y'all it's about interacting with y'all more. So we started out about what we're excited about, what we're looking at in the camp. We had the question fire up. And look, and if you're not going to hit the link to come join us, or when I put the phone on to call in, fire the questions off. That's what we're here for tonight, guys. And Spoonie, I'll let you jump in on this question here. It said, Hall, what's y'all's thoughts on why we haven't looked at Anthony Barr? Our weakness is stopping the run. LV had a better year last year, facts. But can we depend on him with his stopping the run up the middle as our middle linebacker? Spoonie?
I don't know. I'm questionable on LVE. I mean, last season he played okay, but he wasn't in on the downs as much as he was in the prior years. Anthony Barr to me would be a great pickup. He's a veteran linebacker. He's also a pass rusher. Somebody who's solid, somebody who knows the game. He's familiar with George Edwards, who is on the coaching staff at the moment, who brought in Javon Kearse at safety. We see how Javon Kearse reevaluated his old career playing with Dallas last season. So a guy like Anthony Barr, who's familiar with George Edwards, working with Dan Quinn, I think it'd be a very good play for us moving forward this season. Where LV is up in the air, I just think he's holding on the fork until they see about Jabril Cox or my man from LSU. I keep forgetting his name.
Got you.
Thank you.
Let's pivot right. Sweetie with the answer there. Down with the question for Professor O. Any thoughts on Micah setting the goal of breaking the sack record?
I mean, the thing with Micah, if he's watching his amazing rookie campaign, most people, when you say that, you're like, yes, that's a great goal to get. I hope you're even close to it. I could see him doing that. I don't know if he'll do it year 1, or year 2, I should say. But I wouldn't be shocked if Micah is not a guy who has a 20 sack or multiple 18 plus sack seasons. He's that talented. his ability to beat people in terms of just his raw athleticism, his speed, his strength, his football IQ. There's a lot of different ways he can attack. And then this year, he's going to potentially have Tank Lawrence for the entire season. He's going to have an improved interior defensive line. We have multiple guys now on the opposite side that we feel comfortable with. So there's going to be other guys to make it. They're obviously going to put their attention on Micah, but there's now more guys in front of him who, in theory, should be able to take some of that attention away and absorb some of those blockers to give him more one-on-one opportunities. So, yeah, I don't know if I think he'll break it this year, but if he did, it would not surprise me. I mean, he's a special player. So,
yeah, I'll kind of piggyback on it real quick. I don't know. I don't think he's going to get used that much at the end, barring injury, right? I think that's where it's at for year two. Now we get down the line and see how things, kind of come together. Maybe it's a different conversation, but I don't see him getting this. I don't think he's going to get the same amount of snaps at edge as he did last year, barring an injury. Is kind of what I feel, but we'll wait and see. But you're right. The talent's there. We see it, and again, and I kind of came out, and talked about it last year prior to the season. I was like, Micah Parsons has a chance to be more meaningful. No disrespect to by DeMarcus Ware, who should have been a number one first ballot Hall of Famer, but he has an opportunity to be more meaningful, impactful for this organization overall. And we'll wait and see how that plays out. With that being said, let me pivot over here because, again, my guy, Cole's Cowboys in the building. He hit the link that's pinned at the top and came in, said he's got some things to say on this Freestyle Friday. And guess what? We can host up to 10 people, y'all. It ain't got to be just 4 up here. The link is wide open. Freestyle Friday is about the community, about everybody. My guy, Cole's Cowboy, is back in the building from last week to this week. So, man, if y'all see that link, y'all got to you want to say something, by all means, come in. But with that being said, you got a little sleepy on the space last night in the YouTube show, Cole. You inboxed me. But with that being said, Cole, man, hey, how's your Friday, sir?
Hey, man, it's good, man. I was finally able to sneak away from the old wife, man. You know how it is. But, man, how y'all doing, man?
Man, we're doing fantastic. How about y'all guys? Y'all doing fantastic? I mean,
just out here living my best life. Spoonie, you're muted, by the way.
Hey, Spoonie showed that ball. That bottle getting to him already.
Oh, you want some, man?
Pour it up. Yeah. You right. You set for the night, man.
Yeah, what they say on that 3 what they say on that 3-6 my UGK. Now pour it up.
Oh yeah.
I get it.
Oh yeah.
With that being said, though, we kind of started with this, and again, keep around the questions. I'll open up the phone lines here momentarily. As we're talking about camp and being excited, that's kind of what we did leading out here tonight. What are you looking at training camp, Cole? Getting into training camp, what's the thing you're focused on looking at when we get to training camp July 26th?
The offensive line. I want to see who's going to step up, man. That to me, that's one of the most important things to me. Who's going to step up? Who's going to be that final 5? And will we stick to that final, that 5 throughout the season and not move around like we did last year?
10-4. I like this comment here. My guy from the Smacked Nation podcast, Montana, was over there with us, kicking it, Spoon, over there on the space before we got on here on the Cowboys Happy Hour space each and every Friday at 7:30 p.m. Before we get over here, here's what's going to happen. He says, I think Bell's going to force Dallas to let go of Wilson. Just his thoughts. I'll spin the wheel of morality. Spoony, look, be high on Bell. But Wilson, you going to push him out? Maybe a cut?
I mean, it is crowded at safety over there. It's very crowded. So I don't. Bell is an undrafted guy. He was a popular football player that a lot of teams wish that their teams got, and we've seen in training in OTAs that interception he had. Got us hyped up and riled up. The coaches really love his play. Donovan Wilson is on his last year of his deal. I'm sorry. I can see it happening. I can definitely see Bell taking his spot and then release him. But I think more of a trade. I think Donovan can be traded.
Okay. See, I'm kind of. Before I'll let you. Go ahead. What do you think?
It's possible. I think they're going to keep him because we play 3 safeties quite a bit. We utilize our safeties, so having Def at that spot's good. He's a guy that's played both free and strong. He's better at strong than free, but he can play both. But he's not a guy that's a box only, or he's not limited in that capacity. So he could play quite a few different spots in our scheme. What's important though, because we talk about it all the time, is he doesn't have a sponsor necessarily on the staff because he was not drafted by anybody on our current coaching staff.
Big
So
facts.
that there's something to that, and they have guys. They did spend a draft pick last year, not a high one, albeit on Mukwamu. He has the size that we think of when we're thinking of a Dan Quinn defensive back. Then we have Tyler Coyle, who has the athleticism to be a linebacker safety hybrid, but he's a 4'3" guy with good size. Was a special teams player last year and actually played quite a bit as the season went on. He was one of our core special teams guys. So that guy's in the house. He's also cheaper, and we know that kind of matters to our front office. And then we have Bell, right? So Bell is the guy that is the new flavor that everybody's interested in. He was a guy a lot of us would have been totally fine with using a 5th-round pick on. So getting him as an undrafted free agent makes him feel like a steal. But we haven't seen what he can do yet. So saying he'll boot him out, I don't know if I'd go that far, but I wouldn't be shocked if we keep 5 safeties anyways. So
Right.
I think he has a pretty good shot to make it this year, and then they'll probably move on next year.
Here's the thing, Cole. To me, Cole, if Bell wasn't a top 30 pick, would he be getting as much push as we're hearing right now?
No.
That's kind of hard to say, man.
Yeah.
As far as his play, I don't know, man. Like we're talking about, and just to be clear, we're talking about Donovan Wilson, right?
Right.
We are.
Yeah. I mean, we were real hyped on him on that Vikings game in 2020.
Right. But pivot back. Right. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying pivot back to if Bell wasn't a top 30, the 30 official visits, do you think it would be at a fever pitch and how everybody's talking about Bell in general?
No, I mean, because
there you go.
I think it's DQ's comments too, though. DQ gave him a lot of endorsements early on. So I think fans kind of took that saying he was a top 30 visit. He was the guy we gave the largest signing bonus to, which matters when you're talking about undrafted free agents. And he also is getting a lot of love from not only Dan Quinn, but Mike McCarthy speaking about him. So I think there's this expectation because we have a history of hitting on undrafted free agents that he's the next guy up. He's going to be the next success story. And I think we need to temper our expectations. He has a solid shot to make the roster, especially if we keep 5 safeties. I don't think we're going to see much of an impact at all from him this year. Like if he plays, it's going to be in a special teams capacity. I mean, it's pretty clear the top 3 safeties ahead of him. So
yeah, and here's the thing when it comes to Donovan Wilson, right? It is this: what does Stephen Jones love? Comp picks.
He do.
Spoonie, you said last year the deal, right?
Yeah.
You think about the forego a comp pick possibility and just get rid of him? I don't see that. The one thing I will say when it comes to Wilson is the biggest thing about him is, and it goes back to college. If he was healthy throughout college, he's probably at worst a 3rd round pick, probably in the 2nd round is where he would have been. And we've seen flashes at times with him, previous coaching staff, and even with current coaching staff. This is the year for him, though. Hey, do not get hurt long term in camp. That could be the thing that would position him to be up out of here if he has an extended injury in training camp. That would be the thing that I am worried about with him making the squad at that point. Now, fully healthy and things that are happening, what I believe is he is going to make the team because I think he's going to be your primary kind of guy that's going to be the instant backup to Jaron Kearse. Matt O, we do play a lot of 3 safety. I think Bell is looking into moving as what we've seen so far early, being the guy behind Hooker. But I think he's got to jump Izzy, though. And we got to see where Izzy's going to be at in that realm, right? Those are the things that we're looking at. So, yeah, I don't think Bell's going to force Wilson out, Montana. I think Wilson, if Wilson's happened to be dismissed from this team, I'm going to say it's probably an injury in camp that's long-term. And they're like, okay, we just got to move on. That's where I would look at things when it comes to him.
I think it's just the timetable of the statement too, saying I think Bell's going to force Dallas to let go of Wilson long term. Yeah, you're probably right. That's probably a fair assessment. This year, I don't think so. But again, I also think they're going to keep 5 safeties anyways. So it's really going to be a battle between Bell, Coyle, Mukwamu for 2 spots. So 2 of those 3 are probably going to make the team.
10-4. Todd says, will Vasher get a legitimate chance to be used this season? How about let's start is he going to make the roster before we talk about a legitimate chance of being used? I think so. I'm gonna pivot your question. I'm gonna remix it, right? Do you think Vasher makes the final 53 man roster? Cole?
I believe so. I
Okay.
believe he will.
Okay. All right. Professor O, Vasher making the 53.
I think he will. Yes.
Spoony.
Yeah.
Okay. Around the panel, we all agree he is going to make the 53. Now, his usage, we'll wait and see. But let's get him on the 53 first before we jump too far ahead on the usage. Let me kind of scroll through here. Boom, 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 boom. My guy Hall, OTAs will let us know a lot. Man, I can't wait for the 26th. Yeah, fair enough. I definitely like that. Boom. My guy Steve says Donovan is nice, gents. He just needs more reps. He's got to stay healthy though, too. Steve, he's got to stay healthy. Today's Victory for Life says Cowboys fans can take McDonald's All-American and view them as a Pro Bowler. I mean, but let's be clear. Like an All-American's projected to be pretty good, but
yeah. He also had a good comment earlier. He said, Professor O looks kind of sad because Arch Manning chose Texas. I was a little bit salty about that.
Hey, look, I was going to bring it up because I definitely,
I have to acknowledge it, right? I have to acknowledge it, clear the air, and move on. I thought he was a lock to sign with Georgia.
In our group chat, I was like, I don't understand why he did that. And then and Professor O's best way was like, he's gonna play the SEC. His second game's gonna be Bama. I was like, oh yeah. Look, I didn't say nothing. I was like, oh yeah.
No, I was salty.
like,
I was
but
salty.
how?
Listen, when it comes to Georgia,
but how though?
Yeah,
you gotta come correct with PO.
Yeah.
Although then after hearing Dan Patrick talk about having Darren Rovell on the show and mentioning, Texas has its own television network, right? There's talk about a 9-figure what do they say? $10 million a year. $10 million a year.
Yeah.
Was what they're talking. So like I get it, man. If I got offered that as a 18-year-old, I'd be like, yeah, let me make my own legacy. I'll be in the SEC by the end of my career anyways. So starting in the SEC or joining the SEC later, whatever. Right. $10 million a year is a lot of money. And he's a Manning. I mean, no matter what he does, he's going to get spotlight on him. So it's not like him playing in Texas. Like Texas is some small fry, right? They're a major organization people pay attention to, whether they have good years or not. They're a prominent organization. So I get it. I was salty though, but yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I just want to throw it out there real quick. It was a commitment. He could change his mind.
Oh, he's got to wait till he's got to wait till 2023.
Hey, that's a lot of news out there right there.
He ain't giving up yet. He's not
Professor O with the glimmer of hope that he can still get him over
saying
there.
There's a chance. That's all I need.
As long as he doesn't go to Ole Miss, I'm good because I'm a Miss.
My guy blows up. Imagine how I feel. I really thought Ole Miss had a shot. Yeah, 10-4. We'll see what happens. Man, look, real talk. Like them boosters from Texas don't play, and now they got the green light. So that's even more crazy. My God, Dom came through with a question. Said, "Hey, Nick, do you think the next step in Kellen Moore's development? What do you think? Excuse me, is the next step in Kellen Moore's development as an OC? I think it's situational awareness. What say you? Situational awareness does matter because a ton I've talked about whenever once McCarthy got here. The thing that bugged me at times is I needed McCarthy to slap him on the hand and say the stove is hot. And what I mean by that is once he got to like the 35, 30-yard line going into the red zone, that's when we would see here's an end around. Oh, here's a weird screen. Here's those things. And getting away from what they did to get to that field position. So somewhat situational awareness. I think in general, and we've kind of talked about this at times here, is that I want to see run scheme better to a certain extent. And also his zone. Look, if you go down up what he does against man, and especially in 12 personnel, it's A1. But versus zone, I need to see his play calling get better and his scheme get better versus zone in that realm is where I'm at. Our girl DJ's in the building. She goes, back to the Vasher talk. She says, I believe Drummond has a better chance of making the 53 than Vasher. I'll spin the wheel the other way. I'm going to start with my guy, Spoonie. I know we had this talk the other night about it. That was your guy. So,
now listen, I think Drummond has a good shot. He's a big body. He reminds me of Quincy Anuba who played for the New York Jets. Big body, not so fast, but he has a lot on the table that he could bring for this offense. I think he really has a chance over Vasher, in my opinion. But we'll see. This is what the training camp is about.
Professor O, Drummond over Vasher?
I don't think he'll make it over Vasher, but I do agree with DJ that I think he has a pretty solid chance to make the roster because I do think they'll keep 6 wide receivers to start the year out.
6.
And especially because he is a punt return option, he adds a lot. He adds something different than what the current room has. And if you can add that and be a guy who's not just a gunner on special teams, but can actually take some of the return duty away to free up CeeDee Lamb and Tolbert, that's valuable. If you're a guy that can make plays when you're targeted, behind the line of scrimmage on screens and those type of plays, which is how he was heavily utilized at Ole Miss, there's value to that. So I could see him making the roster. There is one thing I want to talk about. Speed is something people mention with him a lot. I know he timed poorly. He plays faster than his 40 times, so I'm not too concerned with that. The biggest knock he's going to have on him is he is an old rookie. So he'll turn 25 this year, in August. So that's it's not a death sentence by any means because sometimes players get drafted that are 24, 25, and 26. But when you're an undrafted free agent, if all things are equal, they may go with the younger option. Although him having the special teams ability may push him on the roster. So I don't necessarily agree that he has a better chance to make the roster. I think Vasher has the better chance. But I do agree he has a pretty solid shot to make the roster.
Is it kind of a now or never moment for him?
Probably. I don't think he's a guy that potential. I mean, if you look at his age, I just can't see him being somebody who can get on the practice squad and be stashed and then come back. What he could do though is if he gets stashed on the practice squad, you have call-ups now more than ever, so they could potentially call him up and utilize him in certain situations and kind of give him a redshirt game almost to see how he does. And if he does well, then maybe look at bringing him onto the active roster. But again, being a guy who can return punts, I think bodes well in his favor because none of the other receivers that we have can do that except for CeeDee Lamb, and we're trying to get him off of that. We're trying to force Tolbert in that role, but he's never done that. Fryfogel's never been a punt returner. I think he had 3 in his entire college career. Vasher's definitely not a punt returner. So,
yeah, I mean, here's the thing though, Steve. All right, measurables are great. You're not wrong. There's part of that. But you have to go look in what he did, at least in OTAs, and we'll see what happens when the pads come on and what happens here, though, Steve. And he bulked up. Like, go look at where he was, and they talked about strength and different things with him last year and things he had to get better at. He's done that from last season to this season. And he provides something that this current roster without Gallup brings to the table. So, and again, with the opportunities in OTAs, he flashed. So it's not about liking his measurables. It's about liking his growth. It's about him attacking and getting an NFL body perhaps for his size to get stronger and things that we talked about before. So it's not really, I mean, as you're talking about, he's not drafted for a good reason. I mean, we can go up and down the line about guys not being drafted and talk about good reasons or whatnot. You know what I mean? Even Cowboys land, right? The Miles Austins of the world wasn't drafted for a good reason. The Tony Romo's of the world, right? I mean, we kind of go up and down the list there, but we have to deal with them by case scenario. And when it comes to Vasher, it's the work that he's done so far from last year to this year, and he has sponsors here, right? We understand that, and the body type and getting physical. Now we have to see it though. We have to see it, right? Because look, Nashawn Wright was going to the Hall of Fame last year in OTAs. And oh my God, we got Sherman 2.0, and then we got to camp, and it didn't turn out that way. So it's year to year on that stuff. So it's not really about the measurables, for my take anyways. It's more about the work he's put in and things that are happening. And you look how this roster is currently constituted at the wide receiver position. Now, believe me, I've pounded the table about getting a dedicated. I don't like just, this guy's the young rookie wide receiver, whatever, throwing back there and be punt returner. I don't like it. I don't. And Drummond, for me, I would love because, you're actually getting a guy that's key, who's done it, who's been effective at it. And I like them, even if it's not Drummond, to get a guy back there who matters because special teams matter. Y'all know my tweets. Y'all know tweets.
So why not they just grab like one of them running backs that we don't really use, like a Rico Dowdle or
They're like wide receiver, sir. I mean, Cole Beasley, Des Bryant,
Ryan
CeeDee
Scherzer.
Lamb. I mean,
Ryan
just go.
Scherzer.
Yeah, I mean, just go up and
Ryan
down the list.
Switzer.
They like wide
Yeah.
receiver and punt returner. It is what it is. But with that being said, my guy Montana's in the building. He hit the link. He came in. He's in here kicking it with us from the Smack Nation podcast. Once again, it's the links at the top, guys. You want to come on here, jump? Camera, cool. No camera, cool as well. Come on, it's what it's about tonight. And Steve says, I feel you. But it's in shells and shorts. Completely agree. Completely agree. Victory for life is in this thing. Free agents excite me like going to pump gas. Okay. Okay. I mean, fair enough. I saw something else he said earlier too.
That's
Now,
why.
now, here's the thing. He said earlier, right? He said earlier, Cowboys Nation will take McDonald's All-Americans making Pro Bowlers. In the same breath, though, he says, cut Besham and sign JPP. Now, what are we talking about?
Stop it.
What are we
Stop it.
talking about? Stop it. What are we talking
Stop
about
it.
here?
He said for JPP, out of all people, I can understand D4, but JPP, come on, man. Like,
I don't know. D4?
yeah, I don't know about D4 either.
I don't know
man.
about that either.
Leave it up to some of these Cowboy fans, man. Go get Robert Quinn, man.
Here's the thing, though. We'll bring up Basham, though, since we're on to that topic. This is what it's about, man. We're going to bounce here, bounce there, and go anywhere. I think Basham's going to matter even more now this year than what he did last year because of what we're going to see from this defense and the growth in what we're going to see in Dan Quinn's scheme. I'm not saying he's going to come out here and be like this, 12-sack guy, but I think he's going to matter more in the rotation of what they're trying to get to.
So
Crazy or not crazy, oh.
So you got him making the team?
Yeah,
I do.
I'm with Montana's question. I don't think he'll make the team just because I'm looking at the
last year's deal.
Yeah, so there's not a lot of money guaranteed or tied up to him, and if I'm looking at the rotation, I just don't know where he fits. So you have Tank Golson on one side, the opposite side potentially. You have Dorrance Armstrong that they gave big money to, big enough money to. You have Fowler, big enough money to. You have Fowler who has the higher pedigree and has the connection with DQ. You have Sam Williams. So we have 5 guys right there, not even factoring in Micah Parsons in the equation, which obviously we're not considering him a true edge guy, but he's a guy who will play edge throughout the season. I don't know that we keep 6 defensive ends. It depends on if they slot him as a linebacker or defensive end. If he's a linebacker, he may have a better shot, but I think he's really an edge rusher. I just don't know. It's possible we might go 6 deep there, but we've also, in my personal opinion, I think we're going to go 5 deep at safety, and I think we're going to go 6 deep at wide receiver. So you have to cut short some positional group, and having a linebacker like Parsons who can take edge snaps. I think having 5 other designated edges, I think we're in good shape there. So I don't know. I don't think he'll make the team.
But here's the thing. I think he will make the team. I do. And the reason why, kind of what you said about the linebacker DN thing, I think it's more of a Fowler thing. They'll stash him as quote unquote linebacker. And I think the other reason as to why is we talk about Golson and the weight that he gained, maybe more of a 3 tech, and maybe that's going to squeeze out somebody at defensive tackle because of the versatility that he's going to have there. And I just kind of go back to what we talked about last year. Dan Quinn got a bunch of guys for the right reasons, right? And he had an idea for them. He was one of the only guys that got a 2-year deal. I think that's for a reason with Dan Quinn. So I do think he's going to be here. Personally, that's the reasons I think. Now he's going to bring to the table. We'll
3.5.
Right.
What do you think, Spoonie?
Yeah, because
I said, what do you think, Spoonie?
Oh, it's Terrell Basham?
Yeah.
Yeah, is he making it or
No,
not?
yeah, he's making the squad, in my opinion. I like what BJ was saying as far as the multitask. You're going to have players slide into another position just to keep them with that number. Yeah, he's going to make it. In my opinion, I think Bohanna probably will be the one odd man out at that defensive tackle. And I also think you got Bohanna. And I hate to say this. I've been wrong.
Uh-oh.
But it's the comp pick. It makes me change my mind. It's Tristan Hill.
Ooh.
He's one of the guys I have be a casualty. But what BJ and PO said a couple of weeks ago makes sense with the comp pick. So, a defensive tackle. So we're gonna see with that.
You got to keep in mind too. We talked about the defensive tackles in our positional group, like Spoonie just mentioned. We have a lot of DTs right now, but there's a lot of guys that are 1 techs.
Yeah,
there's 3 of them. So one of those guys is probably on the bubble, and then we have Golston who can play 3 tech potentially, and we have Neville who can kind of flip back and forth and play either
Right.
one, but we think is going to play more one tech. And then we have Carlos Watkins that we like, and then we have Ridgway, who's the fan favorite, and then we have Bohanna, and then you have Tristan Hill. So Tristan Hill out of that group is one of the few true 3 technique type of guys, and he has the pedigree because they invested in him. So it's going to be interesting because he's the guy that for 2 straight years now is the easy guy that all fans are going to cast off. He's going to be cut. He's going to be cut. He's going to be cut. But we've seen the Cowboys hang on to something. If they think there's something there, they're going to give him every opportunity to make the team. I don't know. I don't know that I'm immediately out on him. Like, I don't have high expectations for him.
So
but I wouldn't be shocked if he does make the roster.
Do you think they stash Bohanna again on the practice squad just to keep Tristan Hill on the roster?
It's a good question. Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question. We'll have to kind of see how things play out.
It's possible. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I think the biggest thing for Bohanna, pad level. Pad level. And look, and then kind of go back to Osa, who was left out of the defensive tackle talk there. You know, who was,
I intentionally left him out because of his role.
Yeah. I mean, but 3 tech, but he's added weight too, and you know that's kind of the things that's going to be very interesting how they look at this front. When we talk about Sam Williams, they're playing in the 3-man front. These guys on the line that have picked up weight. What is this defense really going to evolve to this year? Hall says, if we were to sign a vet before the season starts, which we're known to do, we definitely have to check out Sue. He brings experience, a ring, and a dog. That was last year's draft. The theme of last year's draft. We needed dogs last year's draft. This year, it's about attitude. But a dog mentality, which helps bring out a dog in other players. Personally, for me, the time for the Cowboys to bring it to is set sail. That's kind of where I am. If they go sign a guy, I don't think it'll be Sue by any stretch. But I'll pivot. I'll pivot around here. Cole, Sue, do you think the Cowboys are going to kick the tires on Sue?
Man, I would hope so. that's just personally me. Only because, I mean, what you got to lose? The dude never missed a game in his career due to injury.
Got you. Got that. Professor O, Sue, kicking the tires on Sue?
I mean, I'd be interested in it. I don't think they will.
Yeah.
Honestly. Like, I do think a name that was brought up earlier, Anthony Barr, I think we're more likely to go after another linebacker than we are defensive linemen. It's just my gut take right now, barring injury.
Or Anthony Hitchens.
Yeah. Montana kicking the tires on Sue?
No, I think we good at DT for real. Because, I mean, if we bring him in, it's like basically we're going to probably be kicking out Carlos Watkins. And then, he's stopping Nelvin Gallimore from growing him and Osa. And I want to see them 2 on the field, together this year.
All right. Spoony.
We don't need him.
Okay.
We don't need to. I think the guys they have already is good. I think they're gonna grow. I think Gallimore, Osa, they're gonna have some good years in front of them. I don't think we need to. Don't get me wrong. We got him. I love it. And I agree with the Watkins. He may have to be the odd man out, but I don't think we need to.
10-4. I just at this point where Sue's at in his career, and I'm not saying he is, but it's like he's kind of out here begging to sign with the Raiders. He just wants to sign somewhere. Low key for Sue. Not that he can't play in this league still. I'm not saying that. I think, brother, you've been in this league a long time, right? You got the ring. You've cashed checks. CT is real. You should probably just go ahead and hang him up.
But I will say this, though.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with having a veteran guy.
Oh, there you go. I like you, Spoon.
There's nothing wrong with that. And again,
that's my thing,
That's about it.
But I mean, he's a progress stopper to me.
That is true.
Yeah, that's what I feel. Like Nelvin, you know what I'm saying? He really didn't have a full season to play last year due to injury. Yeah. So to see him and Osa on the field together to start the season, I'm very interested in seeing how they two work together on the field.
10-4, and I'm kind of with, and to the mindset of the Cowboys bringing the vet in, I'm with O. If I look at the defense, we're talking about strictly defense, linebacker screams we need somebody, right? Like I think that's really
Deion Jones.
Well, we got to wait. He's got to get released. He's got to get released. He's got to get released first and see what happens.
Anthony Hitchens. That's
Yeah.
good.
Regurgitation there, Earl Hitchens.
Hey.
But again, they got to me. They need to do something maybe there.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, and again, you're gonna get sued for 1 year, and that's about it. And you look at the young guys that are here. I'm not trying to not see Osa, right? That's kind of where I'm at when I think about Osa and Gallimore. That's kind of what Montana said. It's time to see them right together, multiple. In the work they put in, and when you start thinking about Golson going down there and stuff, I just don't know where Stu really fits in this thing and helps this team. Our girl DJ says Simmons will be a revelation this season. He has the ability to convert speed to power in his pass rush moves. Yeah, we're excited. Yeah, we're excited. Mendoza says he thinks the last two linebacker spots will be safeties.
I agree.
Future
I
of the
agree.
league. Future
I
of the
agree.
league. Future of the league. I've talked about it a ton. Our guy, our new sub, by the way, fire emojis for our new sub. He just hit us tonight. Donald, we were the new sub. Says he can't wait for the DT battle, and it's going to be interesting. That is definitely, and it's funny because we started out our roster breakdown series, guys. This year, the first 2 episodes, we started with O line, and then we went D line. You know why? You win in the trenches, and it's very exciting to see that.
I have a DT question really quick for you guys.
Go for it. Shoot it.
Do you guys see any chance that, assuming everyone's healthy, Ridgeway and Bohanna both make the team? Do you think it's an either or do you think there's any chance that both of those two guys make the team?
No, Watkins, because Watkins is the difference, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm the same, BJ.
Yeah.
Unless Bohanna shows up and really just supremely outplays Watkins, like I think Bohanna will have to show up and really show a huge, he has to show a gap between him and Watkins. That's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, like that's my camp battle right there. Bohanna versus Ridgeway, for real.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like he has to be I feel like if he has any chance to make the team, assuming health, he has to be head and shoulders better than Ridgeway immediately.
yeah.
Like I don't think he can be the guy behind Ridgeway in the depth chart and make the roster. He has to be ahead of him, and maybe that means Ridgeway just needs a little bit of time to develop, which is totally fine. He's a rookie, so that would be fine. But if he's going to make the roster, assuming everyone's healthy, I can't see him beating out Carlos Watkins. It would have to be ahead of Ridgeway, or he's not making the team.
So wait, let me pivot. Let me pick up what you're putting down there. You don't think what you're saying? If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. So you think Watkins is number one seg? You don't think Ridgeway can beat him out this year, or just as early into camp?
Early into the season, yeah, maybe
Okay.
later on. But I think Watkins and Gallimore are going to be the guys getting the lion's share of those one-tech snaps, in my opinion. I think Ridgeway or Bohanna, either one, is going to get some, but I don't think either one's going to play a ton. And I know that people are going to say, well, Ridgeway's a Arkansas guy. I'm not even making it a negative against him. I'm just saying solely if Bohanna's going to make the team, I can't see him making it unless he beats out Ridgeway for a roster spot. Not saying Ridgeway won't make it. I think they would both make it in that situation. Maybe. I don't know. But I just can't see any way that he could be behind Ridgeway on the depth chart and make the roster, essentially.
Okay, I mean, spin it around. What do you think? What do you think, Spoon?
It's tough. Bohanna really gonna have to show up. He really is. Jerry loves Ridgeway. That's his guy. But I think Ridgeway is the type of guy this team wants. They want that nasty attitude guy. And Bohanna, last season in practice wasn't too good. Practice squad probably.
It's tough, man. Last year, he was the fan favorite. He was one of everybody's favorite picks from the draft. And then 1 year later, everybody's tossing him out already.
You know what's PO? We all wanted a fatty and the size. We fell in love with the size. And it's like the size is not doing it for this team. He's not utilizing it correct.
Well, here's the thing: is and I talked about this when we got Bohanna last year, which I love the pick, and I still like the player. But when you looked at his tape and you got through his tape in college, we understood some of the technique things had to change for him. I give my Mike McCarthy pad level. There's things that he does that he can do well. He is a dancing bear to a certain extent, but the athleticism that he brings with his size, right? But again, he has to understand that to keep it low and do it that way. So it'll be interesting. Look, D tackle is going to be a very interesting battle in that front. I got Simons coming and says, I disagree 100%. Golston is going to have more snaps than Watkins. At the one tech? Come on, bro.
That's
No,
not
we're talking about one tech.
yeah, Simon, I don't know if you misheard. We're talking about two completely different positions. We're talking about Watkins at one tech. So Golston
Right.
between defensive end and three tech, maybe, but that's not what we're
Right.
talking about. We're talking about just
Yeah.
the one tech room.
Yeah, just a one tech position, Simon. Just a one tech position. We brought up this question on Space yesterday, not tonight. What depth do you like more, D tackle or cornerback heading into training camp? D tackle or cornerback depth wise, what do you like more from that standpoint, Spoonie?
DT. In my opinion, when it comes to the corners, outside of Diggs is question marks. In my opinion, I know Anthony Brown had a good year last year, but we're still on the verdict with Kelvin Joseph. Nashawn Wright hasn't played yet. We love his size. We love the Richard Sherman comparisons, from what Dan Quinn liked in his scheme, but we haven't seen him play yet. When you say corner, we look at Diggs. And it's Diggs and everybody else. When we look at DTs, there's so many guys that we like. When it's competition or when there's a conversation where we hate to, we argue about which player is going to make it and not play or not make it at DT, that tells us that we have great depth right there. When it comes to corner, it's like, well, we got Anthony Brown there. A lot of us don't want Anthony Brown. We rooting for Kelvin Joseph, but his situation, we don't know what's going to happen. He's going to get suspended or what's going to happen. But outside of Diggs is very scary. And let's just say if Diggs, God forbid, went down, it's more of a scary situation. When you look at DT, we've seen Neville Gallimore miss some games, and guys have stepped in. We've seen Osa, what he did last season, and he slowed down during the second half, but we know what he's going to do this year. So I like the DT depth better than the corner.
Okay, Professor O, D tackle depth or cornerback depth?
Yeah, I'm the same. I'll co-sign Spoonie. I don't really have too much extra to add there. I mean, I'm not down in the cornerback room either. I'm good with both, but I feel more confident, or I guess more excited about the defensive tackle group because we have more flexibility because we have Tank, who late last year played 3 tech snaps. We have Golston, who bulked up and can play 3 tech snaps. We have Gallimore, who can slide in and play 1 tech. We have Watkins, who can play both. Like, we have a lot of versatility there. So in a pinch, I feel better about what we can move around to make the defensive tackle room work versus cornerback, just because outside of our top 3 cornerbacks, we don't really have any experience there. I like some of the guys we have. Like, I still not even worried about the off the field stuff because that'll work itself out, suspension or not. But there is talent with Joseph. We saw it in limited snaps last year. And athletically, he can be a good player. And Nashawn Wright is a guy that we like for a reason. He has some size and things that make him a unique cornerback prospect. Will he develop? I don't know. But we don't really have a ton of experience at defense or at cornerback, but we have more versatility at defensive tackle. So I feel better about the DT room.
It's a Big Ten for, and kind of going back to the right point. She actually showed up on one of our spaces lately as we were wrapping up. We had a chance to talk with her, and she talked about a lot about the work that he's put in this offseason. He's been kind of mum on social media and just really focusing in. So it'll be exciting to see what he brings this year. Montana or Cole, y'all both with defensive tackle over cornerback, or do y'all disagree on either one of on that?
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Cole. I'm
yeah.
gonna let you go first.
Oh yeah. I'm agreeing with the DT. Like I said yesterday in the spaces, if we down one corner, even if it's Anthony Brown, we're struggling, man. I feel like we can make it through with the DTs.
That's what's up. Montana, D tackle or corner?
I'm gonna switch it up on y'all. I feel like I'm gonna go with the corners.
Okay.
But the simple fact of the matter is, I feel like now going into year 2 with Dan Quinn, I feel like Anthony Brown is gonna take a bigger step this year. Even though I be on his back all the time, and I was on his back earlier about the semi for Yoko route, but I feel like he's gonna take a bigger step this year. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how the situation with Calvin Joseph. I mean, when he did play, you know what I'm saying, he shined on the field last year. So I mean, And Nation Wright, I mean, like I said, year 2 with Dan Quinn, I'm pretty sure he's gonna get some type of playing time this year. So I mean, I'm excited to see what the cornerback position gonna bring this year, for real, for real.
10-4. I mean, and let's get into the chat a little bit. I got Todd says cornerback, Mendoza defensive tackle, Weaver cornerback. A little split down here. Boom. DJ Golston backs up D-Log. Golston being groomed as a Tyron Crawford, a type of role. Hall says corner, more experience. AB improved by just looking back at the ball finally. Lewis experience and always been solid. Let me get through. Oh no, we're not doing that. See, boom. I feel DBs have done more than defense as far as production. Nick Mitchell, I got Nick's D tackle depth. My opinion, a well coached Sam Mills will be a monster. But how much defense is how much D tackle is he going to play though?
Right.
You know, and of course, Gardone says he does agree with AB getting better. And look, and I've talked about AB a lot in this standpoint. If you take out Week 1 against the Bucks and Thanksgiving against the Raiders, he had a really stellar year overall. You know, again, but we were talking about, and this is the weird part, and this is why I like the question, because we don't have a Diggs at D tackle, right? That's what we don't have. But we're talking about depth in general, and I just think when you look across the depth, I just think it's defensive tackle. I think Gallimore being here, and gaining and doing, and what we saw him do last year, even though he missed early on, matters. Osa in a ton to me. If Michael Parsons wasn't on this roster before he hit the rookie wall, that is with Osa, we're talking about the first 8-9 games with Osa. Osa was phenomenal. He was just overplayed because they didn't have, the Hill was out, Gallimore was out. He just got overplayed, and we're going to see him walking into year 2. So I'm just, from a depth standpoint, because we took L's with the Urban and a Hill, right, and a Gallimore, and they still did fairly decently. And kind of back to the point of Cole, if AB, my point on the space, I'm not going to talk about Diggs leaving. If AB leaves, who's the next man up outside? Because it's not, let's be clear, right? It's not going to be Jordan Lewis outside. Who's the next guy up outside if AB goes down?
Lane.
It would have to be Nation or Joseph.
Kelvin Joseph, right?
Yeah, it would have to be Joseph. Well, depending on, you know what I'm saying, his situation, it would be him and Kelvin Joseph, but you know.
Listen, we all want Kelvin. We root for Kelvin to win that job. We want listen, Kelvin, they know despite, I'm not trying to bring up what happened, but this, you know, they would not be here with this man if he wasn't that talented. Will McClay knows Kelvin could be a number 1 corner in this league. He can be. He has the talent to do that. He just his issues. He got in his own way. That's why he went to Kentucky. You know, he wasn't drafted in the first round. But if he gets his act together and plays, listen, he could beat out Anthony Brown, in my opinion. And imagine having him and Diggs. We can have a very good, solid tandem in this league, you know, for years to come. But at the end of the day, that's the hard part. You know, will he change his stripes? Will he commit to that star on that helmet more than anything else? It's like what BJ said the other night. Once his situation got cleared up, the first thing he did was tweet about something he should never tweet about. And I always say actions speak louder than words. It should be, thank God, the glory of God, I'm out of the situation. It's time to get ready for some football. It's time to show the fans, the world, the people who some wasn't with me or whatever, that I belong on this team. He's his second year in the league. Once you got drafted, again, we put on, as kids, when we put on these pads and cleats and whatever, what's our dream? We want to be like a Randy Moss or whatever the case may be. Well, you're here. You're in the NFL. You are here. But not just here. You're playing for the Dallas Cowboys, America's team. The star. We are bigger than Oprah. Understand that. We are in the same line as Michael Jackson, but that's when he was here. Understand this. We are the only team that the merchandise by the Joneses, we don't pay the NFL. That's our shit. Oh, it's Freedom Friday, right? I'm gonna let loose.
Hold on. What we know is don't tuck it on Friday.
Let it hang.
Let it hang.
Let it hang. So, he has to understand. We have an owner in Jerry Jones who's not just an owner. He is a celebrity. A celebrity. He's not the one who's that old guy? No. He's one of the guys. Understand that you're on the team with Dak, Zeke, Michael Paul, great guys who are going to be great in this league, who are considered great right now. But will be great. Other guys will be great. What's your problem? What is your problem? You're going to have to now choose in life that way or this way. If you want to go that way, then you know what? You go ahead, go that way, and you think about it when the time has passed you by. Damn, what I could have, what I should have, X, Y, and Z. You go this way, you're going to the promised land. You're going to paradise. You're going where America's team is at. You're going to be talked about with Stephen A. Smith all night long. He may make you famous or not. That's the point about being a Dallas Cowboy, and you are here. If you don't want to be here, shit, any of us are here. We ever had a second chance at life to play this game, and our healthiest, we would take that for $1,000. But wearing that star on your helmet, my God, you throwing it away, my man.
I just want to give a quick silver lining because you mentioned that there's things that we want to see from him, not only like on the field, but from an off the field standpoint. Now, this is a small thing, not a game changer by any means, but it is something that gives me a little bit of hope that maybe he's starting to see things differently after, what happened. I would show you, but the green screen kind of messes it up. But if you go check out his Instagram, he just dropped it. You won't be able to see it. He just posted yesterday. He's doing a youth football camp for first graders through 10th graders in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It's only $10. It's going to be him and some other NFL players there to coach the kids, train them. So if you're in that area, maybe you live in Louisiana and you want to check him out, maybe get a chance to talk to him first, get a face-to-face and just get a feel for where his mindset's at. But it's a small step, but it's a step, right? It's something that I think should be acknowledged. It's July 17th. So if you're in the area and you want to sign your kid up, maybe a good opportunity for them to meet a Cowboys player and, maybe get to shake his hand and meet him. But again, it's not a game changer by any means. He has a lot of stuff. We have to see if possible suspensions coming through and how that's going to go from here. But I do want to say it's a small step, and we haven't had that to prop up. So I wanted to at least give it a little bit of light. So we'll see what happens from there.
And look, and sometimes the change is just one step forward. And that's the biggest thing we talk about in life in general. Now, we'll take the NFL out of this thing for a second. And we're just talking about in a human being in that space of what you're doing. First step's the hardest. But once you do it, do you do another one in front of it and another one in front of it? And at the end of the day, if this is the first pivot to him, and getting in that lane, then so be it. Again, I always said, going back to the space when we had this a great conversation, if y'all missed out, about these cornerbacks and everything in the pre-show space yesterday with our guy Stevie J as well, who came through, is the game for me and how I do this. For me, I won't speak for nobody else. It's always bigger than football. Football's entertainment. And obviously we enjoy that side of it and everything. And we played the game, or a lot of us have played the game. But it's more about the human being than it is about the sport. And I don't really, sure, it'd be great if Kelvin Joseph becomes great and it has a star and he does those things and he turns it around. But I'm not worried about that for the Cowboys. I'm worried about that for the human being. And I want him to be productive and live long and be in the right realm. So if that's the thing that turns it for him and he goes great, man, fantastic. No matter what he does in a Cowboys uniform, it will always and forever be bigger than the game for me when it comes to these guys. And I hope that happens. You know what I mean? With that being said, I got some of the questions up here and I see some other things we want to get to. Once again, real quick, I'm going to pivot to top, hit it, join. We got some about to join us right now. And then, of course, the call line is open, and we're going to open that up, and we'll move it forward if you want to call in, if you don't want to jump on. We got you on that way. If y'all want to just keep feeding questions through the chat, it's fine, too. It's all about us interacting. But as we're interacting, the only thing we ask, if you're here, make sure you hit the sub for us. If you're on Facebook or whatever, hey, look, come over to the YouTube page, Pick Six Sports. It's right there on the bottom. Make sure you hit that sub, right? And then on the back side, man, give it a little share skis, little like skis. It's free 99. Free 99.
Also, check out the two gentlemen below. Cole's Cowboys has a YouTube channel. Check them out. Smack Nation has a YouTube channel. Check them out. So we appreciate them rocking with us too. This is 2 weeks in a row having them. So thanks, guys.
Hey, you know what? This is about to be. Look, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm about to add these two people. We're about to add these two people. We're about to let it hang. To be honest with y'all, we're about to let it hang a little bit, if you will. First and foremost, we got Aisha in the building.
Aisha.
No,
Lisa.
Unmute
Lisa
yourself.
Left Eye. What's up, girl?
Lisa Left Eye's in the building. You got to figure it out. And also, just unmute yourself. You'll be all right. Also, hold on. Time out. Hold the front door real quick. Hold up. Let me get a solo layout here.
Like
no. You take that hand down, sir. What on God's green earth is going on here? Do I have to kick you out of beard? What is my bearded brother?
So I had a really big job interview. I'd been trying to get an interview with this company for 3 years, so I had to trim it down. Unfortunately, in America, we still have beard depression.
Damn these beard depression.
How'd the interview go? How did you feel about it?
I got the job, so
it was worth it.
Hey, fire emojis for my guy, Massey. Look, he was wrongly judged on this beard, but dadgummit, he got the job. He sacrificed the beard, and he got the job. The only question I have, Mass, can you grow the beard back now?
Oh, 100%.
Let's
go.
It's a win.
Beard gang in the building.
If you need a
That's all that matters right there, man.
Let's go.
Okay.
Left Eye, what's up, girl?
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes,
we can.
Okay. Hi, humans.
Hey.
What's good? For my guy though, Mans, real quick, he had to shave the beard. He's growing it back. He got the job. But God tells us, beard gang for life. Congratulations on the job. DJ in the building with the fire emojis. Everybody lighted up with the fire emojis for my guy, Mans. He said, 3 years you were trying to do this?
Man, I was trying to get this. Y'all want to hear the craziest story ever for an interview?
Yeah.
Come on. Hey, look. It's free. Look, in case y'all don't know, this is Freestyle Friday. We're going to talk Cowboys talk, but you might get some other stuff going on here. Give us the story. I'm ready. Hold on. Let me get my drink ready. I'm ready.
I was about to say,
I'm ready.
Matt, you might need a drink because it was wild, man. So I've been trying to get an interview with this company for like 3 years, and I couldn't ever get in. Finally, I got a connection to get the interview, right? And I got the day off. I got ready two hours early. I was ready to leave 2 hours early, making sure everything was fine. And then I go to leave, and I can't find my car keys anywhere. And I was like, where's my car keys? So I hit up my wife because she went with the kids to her sister's house. And I was like, hey, I can't find my car keys. What's going on? And it was like an hour away. And she was like, no, I don't have them. And I was like, can you check the car to make sure? So she did. Mm-hmm. Sure enough, my car keys were in her car. So I had no way. So it was like in the middle of the day in California traffic. And she was trying to come, but like she couldn't make it to the house in time. And she was like, hey, hit up Uber. And I was like, oh, okay, you know what? That's actually pretty smart. I didn't even think about that. So I hit up Uber, right? It was a
2022 Mass.
$60 ride.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, no, hold on. So it gets crazier. So I do that. I'm waiting for like 20 minutes for this Uber to show up. The guy gets 2 miles from my house, and the driver cancels the ride.
No.
So I had called the guy and asked him if he could push my appointment back like 30 minutes. And he kind of gave me the like, are you serious? And I was like, just 30 minutes. He was like, you promised me you could make it. And I was like, oh yeah, I can make it. Thinking I was going to make it. And then all this happened. And I was like, I just lost this opportunity. It's gone. And then when I was right when I was about to have my mental break, my phone rings and it's my buddy who lives down the street and was like, hey, your wife texted my wife. You still need a ride?
I'm
I
telling you,
Clutch.
the lady
I
in
was
the
like,
clutch.
bro,
Yes.
Of course.
I was like, can you get over here as soon as possible? So he drove over. Not even gonna lie to you, he pulled up, got out of his car, threw me his keys, and said, "Go." And I jumped in his car and drove off. His wife
That's
came
a
and got him
friend,
from my
man. That's
house.
a good friend.
Clutch.
Oh,
Shout out. What's
Clutch.
his name? What's your friend's name? What's your friend's name?
His name's Ken. But get
Shout
this.
out to Ken.
Shout out
My-
to
Shout
Ken.
out
my-
to Ken.
shout
Shout
out to Ken.
in the chat. Shout
My,
out. Everybody needs a Ken.
my interview was at 3:30. I made it at 3:29.
On
Dang.
time, baby. On
Yeah.
time.
And they told me
On
this.
time.
They asked me
Hey,
how.
hold on. Here's the thing, though.
There you go.
As you talked about your Uber for the 60, now me and Spoonie have a story about a ride. We went to a particular playoff game last year, ladies and gentlemen. The Cowboys
Spoonie's
hosted one of
already
them
shaking
things.
his head.
Yeah, we hosted one of those. Look, hold on. Let's line it up for Ken before I get to the
Yep.
story. Yeah, let's line it up for Ken one time. Line it up for
Ken's
Ken.
getting some love, man.
Yeah,
Definitely,
let's
man.
go,
He deserves
Ken.
it, man. He
Everybody
deserves it,
needs a
man.
Ken.
I bought him a couple beers.
My God,
to
Robert's
go.
hashtagging Ken for the win. No doubt, Hall. God always makes a way. But on the backside of that, so we went to a particular game, a playoff game the Cowboys hosted against the Niners, and and we took the obviously we look. I'm gonna talk about this. Y'all know what it is. Me and Spoonie was out. We're like done. Mary and our guy JT was sending us, hey, where y'all at? Lot 10. Me and Spoonie was like, hey man, we at the hotel, man. Holler at us. So right there, where the taxis are, we jumped in. Boom. Look, now literally, Spoonie, we were talking about 1.9 miles. Is that how far about 1.9, two at the most, where the hotel was from the stadium.
Mhm.
We pulled up, taxi driver's like $72. I looked at Spoonie. I'm sorry.
I'm walking. I'm walking that 2 miles, bro.
No, here's the thing. No. He didn't tell us out the gate though. Like we put him at the hotel. He's like, I bet it'll be $72.
Dang.
Look, I looked over at Spoon. Spoon was already mad. That man hit him with 72. I was like, Spoon is about to take out his Niners frustration. I said, Spoon, I got it. I said, Spoon, say less, Spoon. I got the 72. No problems. I got it. Don't worry.
Spoon so all red that day.
Oh, he was mad. He was mad.
It was
$72.
yeah. You know what it was?
Yeah.
It was listen. You win. It was our first playoff game. You win, you lose. But it was the 49er fans that really got to me and BJ. I think the fifth before the cab ride. But I'll say it was very frustrating. Very I was very pissed off. It was to the point where I was ready to go take the airport and go home. I didn't want to go back to the hotel. It was that bad.
It's true because we were in there. I was like, Spoon, man, let's just grab a drink. What else was a no?
Man.
Like I said, y'all was very brave going to that game, man. 'Cause
Oh,
ain't no way. Hell, I was going to no playoff.
So
I wasn't gonna do it, man. I can't be there. I gotta look at it.
I'll give you that story. I'll give you a quick story. It's not money though, but I have to apologize to PO. I'm gonna share this with everybody here. So it was me, PO, Aisha was there. We went to the NFL draft in Vegas, right?
Uh-oh.
And we all know that PO's a big Georgia Bulldogs fan, right? And it was my mistake. I'm sorry, P. I gotta share this, PO. I have to share it.
You don't want to hear
Hold
it.
on, first,
I have to give you a public apology.
Let's just throw this out there. First, I lost Archie Manning. Did not commit to Georgia, and now you're gonna bring up another Georgia woman
I just want to
in the same week,
Dang.
back-to-back days.
Jeez.
Now,
Go ahead, pour the salt on it. Let's hear the story.
The
I'm
wound's
looking at
open
my
anyways,
phone.
Dad.
It's still wide open.
I could have sworn I saw Nicole Dean going to the Dallas Cowboys. So when I made my
Keep in mind, I'm telling him, Spoonie, get off your phone. Don't spoil this. Let's find this out together. Stay off your phone. And he was like, P.O., it's N'Kobe. And I'm like, and then immediately they panned to N'Kobe Dean in the draft room. And I'm like, losing my mind.
Listen,
all
at
lost
the
our
restaurant, P.O. was excited, walking around. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
It was bad.
And then when it said Tyler Smith, P.O. looked at me. And I swear, you know what it was? It was like, he looked at me like painful eyes looking right at me. Like, I just want to just roast them or chop them up in some pieces, stir them somewhere. You know, I said, I'm sorry, P. I'm sorry. I said, we're gonna make this up. We're gonna get him the second round.
Second round.
Yeah, it never happened, man.
He wasn't even looking at you, Spoonie. He was just seeing red.
It didn't work in round 2. It's gonna be round 3. He's our pick.
Yeah, he's our pick, man.
I didn't even hear that you kept going.
No, he continued. He continued until he was off the board. He said he was going to be our player. So
yeah, I felt so.
Then he got drafted, and he was like, "Don't worry, we'll trade for him."
So I need to know what was the reaction when he went to the.
I'm sorry, I would have been hot.
Oh, I am so sorry.
Okay, I'll go. My tenant asked the question.
I wonder what was y'all reaction when he got drafted by the Eagles.
I knew
that famous picture of Rowdy with his head down, crying in the hallway. That was me. That was me at the draft.
I was frustrated.
I'm just kidding.
Listen, we have our experience, but we have great times when we travel together and go to these games and stuff like that. Lot 10. If anybody interested, that's what we'd be at Dallas, man. But it's fun times, maybe fun times.
I just want to say real quick too. The Uber note you guys were talking about. Me and Felix, I already talked about it a few times, but we went to the Dallas Cowboys Youth Academy at the stadium. It was a great time. We took a cab from the airport to the hotel. Not a long drive, like 15 minutes or something. He goes through this toll booth because apparently there's a toll booth immediately outside of the airport in Dallas. And puts on $12 on top of the ride. And I'm thinking, that's a super expensive toll. But I'm like, I don't know. Maybe that's what it costs. Whatever. So we go through the toll. Then I get an Uber back because I was like, that was a pretty expensive cab ride just for a short distance. So we took an Uber and I asked the lady, I'm like, how much is the toll? And she's like, oh, it's only $2.
Right.
Why, my man, it charged me $12 for the toll.
Yeah, he kept your money.
He gassed you. Yeah, he's like,
I was like, there's no way there's a $12.
He's like, he was like, oh, you flew in? You don't know about these toll roads. We got you.
I know.
And you'll
I'm
never see
take
me
the Uber. So shout out to my Uber driver for being honest. So I extra tipped her for appreciating her honesty.
But you know what though? Let me pivot back because we just added mass. We had our girl Aisha as well in the building, and now we are definitely into the untucked phase for what it's worth. So we had this question earlier. Now I want to pivot here for Cowboys Nation and let y'all answer the question as well. That's right. And again, keeping the questions. And my guy said, "Hey, man, we are 2 people away from a Cowboys square. We can run, the Hollywood squares. We can run a Cowboys square game."
I don't even know what that. I don't even remember how that game goes.
I used to Jersey Brady Bunch. The intro has all the family members in the looking down.
So then we would ask a question.
Like Spoonie could potentially just drop, pour out some of his Patron, and Montana could just open his mouth and take a shot straight from there.
And then the 2 contestants, Aisha, the 2 contestants. Then what happens? A question gets asked, and they would pick somebody on the board for the answer, and they have to agree or disagree. If they agree, they get the X. If they, the O, sorry. And if they, if they don't get it right, then boom, they don't get it. So you got to create tic-tac-toe. But neither here nor there. It's a long down job. I'll send you a clip later. How it works. But with that being said, going into camp, we got the date now. We got the date now for Cowboys camp, July 26th. What is the number one thing that you're looking at and your eyes are focused on as we're heading to camp? And I'll do gentlemanly here in Texas. Ladies first, Aisha. What's the number one thing that you're looking at as the Cowboys are going to land in Oxnard and get this camp rocking on July 26th?
I actually posted my little video a couple days ago, and I think the main thing that I'm looking for is the offensive line. I'm a firm believer that the offensive line and a little bit of Kellen Moore was the demise of this team last year, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Definitely Dak being injured played a factor as well, but altogether the offensive line play, when it did decline, was very poor. And so we have a lot of, I call them unknowns. It kind of reminds me of the Stranger Things at this point. We're going into camp looking at Tyler Smith, trying to see what he's going to be doing, how Connor McGovern looks this year. Tyler Biotish, is he improving? Is he going to be playing with more power? Is he going to be able to snap the ball and not have my quarterback struggling getting into his freaking drops? All of that stuff. So the offensive line to me is, Terrence Steele, seeing how he looks this year. I just think it starts there to me on the offensive side of the ball. So for me, I'm just very focused on the offensive line and seeing how they are, how they're looking in camp.
Okay. Timfo, Mass. Man, I still gotta get used to without this beard, but it's okay.
No.
It's coming back soon.
I still go like this.
I saw.
I
was gonna say I saw you kind of do it a little bit, but neither here nor there. Number one thing you kind of look at is we're heading into camp, brother.
Yeah, I don't want to steal Aisha's thunder, but like
No,
what
that's okay.
I was even more specific to the center position because I think that is going to be a huge battle in camp this year because like, Tyler Biotis is on the hot seat. I think we all realize that as soon as the draft was over, they said like Steven came out and was like, hey, you know, we signed a couple guys that we really like, and Farniak is going to be battling for that job. So I think
can I slide my guy in there?
Lindstrom, dude.
Okay.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I'm trust me. That's why I said we got some undrafted people. So like, I think that center position is going to be huge. And I brought this up on the 4D podcast. If like say they really like Farniak or Lindstrom in there, and they feel comfortable with both those guys, what do you do with Tyler Biotis if he loses the job? So like. That's a big question. Do you keep him around? Do you try to move him to guard or like a backup guard, backup center? Like, what do you do?
At this point, you keep him around. I'm scared.
You skip. Yeah, I mean, you can keep him around for his experience.
They get so injured throughout the year, man. I would keep him around until we see what we can do with them. Maybe he's collateral.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point.
Joe Philbin would say, you know what we do with these guys is we just rotate them every
season. Don't you do it.
Because he's the kryptonite as well. And I mentioned that like I'm not letting him off the hook either.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he played a huge role in them not playing well. Like we saw Dan Quinn adjust and basically play with rookies on the defensive line for a good part of the season. And the offensive line didn't look like that once we plugged other people in. And I understand there's a different level of camaraderie. However, we need Joe Philbin to get his life together. Staring at him at camp. Staring at him.
I have a question for Massey.
Go ahead.
And maybe not even really a question. I just want to give Massey this opportunity because swing tackle has been my biggest position of need. I'm super focused on it. I wanted to give you the floor because I know you out of almost everybody I know are the Matt Let's Go guy. You are super high on him.
Go.
So for those that maybe haven't watched his film like you have, like what do you see? What do you like about him? What makes you feel confident? Just for those that may not have had a chance to check him out.
Yeah, so look, this guy he's raw. Like technique wise not really raw, but like he doesn't have the strength right now to play at the NFL level at the tackle position. Some people have asked if he can play inside at guard. I think he's a little bit too tall to play guard, but also if his biggest weakness is strength, you don't want to move him into the inside to play guard. Right. So his technique is good. He has really good hands. He has really good feet. He has quick feet. He's very athletic. He had one of the highest RAS scores for tackles in the draft. So he's very athletic and he's long, and that's what with that athleticism and his length, once he kicks out and he can get it, he gets his feet moving right, his length makes it very difficult to get the edge on him. He a lot of the time will push, like make the defensive ends go really wide around, and there's no time to get to the quarterback when you do that unless the defense is just like completely locking up the receivers and it's a coverage sack, which that's not on him. He did his job. So that's what I like about him. The problem is that he's going to struggle with strength. He's got to get a year in the weight room. He's got to get into an NFL weightlifting program to get that strength up. Can he be the swing tackle? Maybe this year. You also have Josh Ball, so that's going to be a question. If he, sometimes he could be good. If you go back and just look at the Senior Bowl, because I know his tape from a small college in North Dakota it's a small school. So go back and look at the Senior Bowl when he's going up against guys from the draft. He, what's the guy that Seattle drafted, defensive end? Oh man, I can't think of his name.
Did he play at?
Minnesota.
Boye Mafe.
Boye Mafe, there you go. He went up against Mafe, and you can go to my Twitter page at DJMassey. I posted a couple times. He went up against Mafe, and he stonewalled him one time with a power rush, just completely stonewalled him. And another time he forced him out so wide that he had no chance. And then another time he took him to the ground. And this guy's a second round defensive end. Like he can play with this type of talent. He just needs to get more consistent with his strength. And a lot of people, I think Jim Nagy actually said that he thinks that Waletzko was the best tackle at the Senior Bowl. So that tells you what kind of potential he has, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And again, I think it's important, especially when you have one thing that Cowboys content creators, and I'm not necessarily saying this as a knock to other fan bases, but the Cowboys community as a whole does a really good job of diving into the draft. I think we are one of the best fan bases there are at that. So when you have guys or girls that have strengths in scouting players that you don't have, or maybe a guy you just haven't had a chance to see, it's good to ask those questions because then it prepares you. So when training camp comes around, you can start seeing if he wins a battle against somebody who is bull rushing, you can say, he's been working at that because I know that was one of his perceived weaknesses. So that's good to hear. That's a small step toward the right direction. Yeah. And if you see him win against speed rushers but struggle against a bull rush, you can say, well, that's expected. We kind of knew that coming in. So it just kind of prepares you as a fan. So I wanted to ask you because I know that you were really big on him, Massey. So thank you for that.
Yeah, and I know it's a lot.
Time out. Let y'all go. I got to step away for just a second. I'm going to kill my camera. I'll be right back. Y'all hold it down. Y'all are good hands. I'll be right back, guys. That's what you know. If I just went and blinked like, where did the Knicks go? I'm like, whoa, gotta make a move real quick. I'll be right back. But y'all go ahead.
Sounds good.
I was just gonna say that. Look, don't expect him to step in and start day one. He's not ready. Yeah. He's not at that level yet. And I know he's a 5th round pick, so the likelihood of a 5th round pick succeeding and becoming a starter, especially when our right tackle is a undrafted free agent. So like I know the odds are long, but he's just a guy I like who has a lot of talent. And at worst, I think he can be at least a swing tackle in this league.
And so also, I wanted to say, like, this is something that people don't talk about, but I feel inclined to, is that we got to stop acting like some of these smaller schools are getting the same, airtime, I guess you want to say, as these other schools. And I feel like more and more we're seeing that, especially in this draft in particular, like some of the undrafted guys this year, you're sitting here like, that guy should have been drafted. And I just feel like some guys, and I feel like so many guys fell because of things like that. And we can definitely attest some of that to COVID and the travel restrictions, whatever. But this is something that we've seen in the league for a while, and it just needs to be better. These guys deserve to get looked at too, because Matt Waletzko, in my opinion, is one of those people who, and obviously it's not just us, it's not just you, Massey, it's a lot of scouts, like you said, that were like, this guy could have been, 3rd round. So I don't know. I just want to say
that's a good point. It's a good point. And I think it's easy as fans to write off small school players saying the level of competition, the level of competition. It's probably worth noting there's 27 players in the NFL Hall of Fame that played at HBCU schools.
Yes.
So they weren't playing Power 5. They weren't playing any of those big schools. Obviously, HBCU schools historically have played at high levels, but right now they're not getting a lot of opportunities to play against those SEC schools or the Big Ten or ACC or whatever conference, and they're still producing NFL players.
Yeah. Shout out to them.
And there's a lot of guys like that out there. So, again, it's easy to say, well, he played at North Dakota, not even North Dakota State, which is a school we attribute to producing NFL talent. It's easy to write him off for that. But same thing with Jalen Tolbert. Like, he's a guy, if you were not invested in the draft, prior to the draft, you were thinking it's a South Alabama wide receiver. There's no way Dallas takes him. We like to go for big school players. And now you see the film, you understand why the coach is like, and you see it for the potential fit, and you're like, I don't really care about the school because
here's the thing about Tolbert that people don't realize about Tolbert. Yes, he went to South Alabama. Yes, he went to a small school, but this was also a guy who was heavily recruited by Power 5 schools who chose to go to South Alabama to stay close to his home, and then dominated. So it wasn't like this guy was like, hey, he was not highly recruited and he just had to work his way. This guy was highly recruited, had multiple offers from Power 5 schools, and decided to go to Alabama, South Alabama, so he could stay close to home.
Right.
There's a lot of
all
stories
of
like that
them.
in the draft
That's
too that
like
get
all
missed.
of
Like,
them.
sorry, I'll just get this out real quick, Montana, and I'll pass it to you. So Noah Ellis, he was drafted by the Eagles, but he's a guy that got some buzz later on. He went to Idaho, so he wasn't at a major school. But his dad was Luther Ellis, a former NFL player, played for the Lions, had a good career. He had offers to go to Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia, Wisconsin, and a few other schools, and he chose Idaho because his dad was the defensive line coach there. So sometimes when you see the school, you immediately think, well, he's not good enough to go to these big schools. There's a lot of players like that were like, well, my friend went there and I felt comfortable, or that's close to my family and I didn't want to have to leave.
My girlfriend went there.
Or my girlfriend, or my high school coach got a job there and I wanted to follow him. Like, there's a lot of those connections that we don't know about when we're looking at just the school. So I think it's important to give those guys, the chance to develop into the players that they potentially can be. Montana, my bad for cutting you off. Go ahead.
Oh no,
yeah,
I was
go ahead,
agreeing with y'all. No, I was agreeing with y'all. Like, mostly I was just agreeing. Like, some of them players, they choose to go to small schools to stay home. Sometimes, like, they don't just be like, oh no, they got rejected by a powerhouse school. So yeah, I'm gonna go to this. Nah, it be their choice for real. So
Yeah.
We're gonna see that with Deion's son too. Shador at some point is gonna be an NFL caliber player. So
Yeah.
Real quick. I got Todd shared, liked, and subbed.
thank you.
Some more
Thank
for
you.
that. Y'all keep sharing, keep liking, get the
Yes,
likes
definitely.
up. Try and run these subs up. We gotta run these fire emojis for all the subs. The one thing I didn't hear, did anybody say about the 7'1" reach? 7'1" reach of Let's-Go? Anybody talk about that?
I just said he has a lot
he's
of
a
length, but I
giant
didn't say the exact length. But you're right. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
7'1".
That's what I'm saying. How hard is it to get around that dude, man?
But that's
Yeah.
a common thing that you saw. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I felt
Sorry.
like that was a common
Aisha, I just
thing.
want to let you know, Aisha, I give you permission to cut off BJ Nix anytime you want. You just
Anytime.
go.
Oh no.
Cut
He
us
will
all
stop.
off, Aisha.
BJ is a
By all
consummate gentleman, and he will stop talking.
I am trying
Absolutely.
to get that dog in me, but I just have so many manners and I be struggling. So anyway, I feel like that's a common thing.
Hold on, I'm
with
gonna let
a
you
lot
finish.
of-
No, I'm joking.
Tater tot. I think that's a common thing with a lot of these guys in this draft class. I think Sam Williams has the long arms. I feel like Tyler Smith, he definitely has long arms. And it's just, I don't know. I feel like they really heavily went with that. And looking at the scouting report for Tyler, especially too, is like he uses his long arms strategically, and it sounds like something that Matt Let's-Go does too. So I don't know. It just seems like a common thing with this draft in particular too.
Well, we know Quinn
Kind
loves
of the
long
coaching
arms.
staff.
Yeah, they need help. They got a type. Preferences.
But I was going to say, when we were talking about the transferring for different reasons, Slovis, did he go to West Virginia?
Right. Yeah.
I think he went to West
Yeah, I'm
Virginia,
pretty
but
sure.
it was
I'm
because
pretty sure you're right there.
it was because of his girlfriend. That's where his girlfriend went, so he transferred over to West Virginia. So, there's a ton of reasons these people go to different schools. Doesn't mean that they weren't good enough to go to a certain school. Come on, people. I don't know the reasons. There could be a bunch of reasons, but we all know that Arch Manning did not go to Texas because he thought they were the best school.
Oh yeah.
And
with Jalen Tolbert too.
Oh wait! Real quick. Hold on. We just hit a nerve here. And real quick before I even get that, I'm gonna get rid of the calling line. Ain't nobody calling you. Y'all just keep asking questions or hit the link and come join us like everybody else is doing. So the calling line's dead now. That sounded a little salty there, Mass, because we already know we have a particular guy on the panel who's a Georgia fan that's a little salty about how things have played out with Mr. Manning.
I'm not salty. I'm
okay.
I'm a USC fan. So we weren't even really in the running for him. We weren't one of his final schools.
Which USC?
So
I need him.
Clear about that. South Carolina.
The USC Southern
I
California.
got Cal. I got Cal.
Caleb.
Yeah, we got Caleb.
But
Williams.
hold on,
Yeah, I
but
got
Texas
Lincoln.
but Texas got the Tiger King.
Yeah, they got Joe Exotic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they got Joe Exotic over there.
But they also got Sarkisian as a coach, so that's a negative. So
Ooh.
Our guy Mendoza made a good comment too,
Wait a
saying
minute.
if
Hold on,
Ewers
man.
doesn't immediately step up and have a big year this year and has to transfer, He's gonna be Tate Martell 2.0. Mendoza, shout out to you for bringing that up.
Hey,
Because
hey,
you don't want to
hold
be
on,
that
hold on,
guy
wait,
that
wait,
was the number one
Professor
quarterback
O.
and had to transfer 3 times.
Hey,
Two times.
Professor O,
rough, yeah.
if he has to transfer again, he'll be the Bulldogs quarterback.
No, what is it? Rattler. He's
Hey.
about to be Rattler. Spencer
Hey.
Rattler.
The University
Well,
of
Spencer's
Miami,
at
we would take whatever.
South Carolina. No.
Fair enough. All right. Either way, you know.
We have Brock Vandegrift. I don't want people to sleep on him. He was the quarterback coming out a year ago.
Yeah.
He's a dual threat guy, so I actually like him. So now I'm doing that. I'm at that phase of my depression right now, where the denial kicking,
Acceptance.
where I'm like, I didn't want him at all.
You didn't want him
We have
anyways.
Brock Vandegrift. That's the stage I'm on right now. We'll check back next Wednesday.
Hey,
to
real
see if
quick,
I made it through
Fred.
that.
Here's an exercise because me and Massey in a DM, we went back and forth a little bit, with all the good and fun. Real quick, the better college. Let's put it out there. The better college, because he said, because we were talking about the Mannings and where they went and whatever the case is. Like, well, I mean, hey, Texas is better than Ole Miss, though. He's like, no, Ole Miss better than Texas. So I'll pivot to the chat. Right, I'm gonna pivot to the chat. Appreciate you as always, our mod extraordinaire. You know, he says I'm good constantly, but I'm gonna pivot to the chat. I'm gonna pivot to the panel. The better college, Ole Miss or the Hook'em Horns? Spoonie, in your opinion, who's the better college?
The Ole Miss or the Horns?
Yeah.
If you were looking at if you were looking at and you were trying to go to a college, you're trying to go, you're being recruited by Ole Miss, you're being recruited by Texas football. You're like, okay, what's the better football team? Which one should I go to?
Who the head coach?
Well, right now we're talking about. I mean, are we talking about right now or?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Lane
I know
Kiffin,
Stock-
Lane Kiffin and
And Starkey.
Sarkisian. Yeah. Right.
I want to post.
To USC.
Both failures at USC.
No, don't do that. Don't you do that. Don't you do that. Only one was a failure as a head coach, though. Neither here nor there. Are you going Texas or Ole Miss? You got to pick one. Gun to the head. Texas or Ole Miss? Aisha, you know what? These guys are scary. You won't be, though, Aisha. Who's the better school?
Y'all, no, I'm not scary. I'm Switzerland because I don't talk about stuff I don't know nothing about.
Guess what? Hey,
There you go.
Aisha, here you go, Aisha. You're just like me because I have no dog. I don't have a favorite college. I don't
Listen,
have this
I
problem.
don't.
That's right. But look, I know enough though. Like, yeah, come on, it's got to be Texas over Ole Miss.
I mean, I would say I can't. It's hard for me to say Texas. The way that CeeDee Lamb scorched Texas that one time, I was working at Buffalo Wild Wings. I just can't ever forget it.
That was bad.
So I lost so much respect for Texas that I ain't gonna lie. And I'm from Texas, and I was
Yeah.
like, CD, what are you doing here?
Man, you ready to go to Mississippi? Okay, fair. Or Ole Miss,
I mean, from a football
St. Louis.
standpoint, I don't really know much about either one of them, so I don't know.
So y'all want to hear something funny?
Yeah.
When Lane Kiffin was a coach at USC and it was going downhill real fast, you know how like on the road they'll write in the street they'll like fire lane.
Oh Lord!
So people were
They
spray
got
painting
Dan ain't here
Kiffin.
right now, man.
People
They
were
got
spray.
Dan's not here.
Oh yeah, but people were
Go
spray
ahead.
painting. People were spray painting Kiffin under it, so it would read "Fire Lane Kiffin."
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, Smack Nation. What is it? Is it UT or is it Ole Miss?
You know, I'm a Miami Hurricane fan at heart, but
Man,
I'm gonna go ahead and say Texas. You know.
Okay, Cole.
I'm gonna go with
What you got, Cole? Is it UT or Ole Miss?
Wait, hold on. I need to know, Montana. I'm not alluding to what my answer is. I'm just curious. You said I got to go with Texas. Why Texas over Ole Miss though?
I mean,
Wait. Pivot. Everybody answer first, real quick. Then you answer right. Let everybody answer. So we don't sway nobody. Cole,
I
UT
know.
or Ole Miss?
I'm a Mississippi State fan, so I'll never go nowhere.
That's
So
fair.
Texas.
All right. Spoonie.
I'm in Texas.
Okay. Professor O. Don't worry about where Manning
I know
signed.
Professor
Don't worry
O's
about where
got my
Manning
back.
signed right now.
I know Professor O's got my back.
Yeah, no, come on, PO.
I need to lay it out. Let me walk it out. All right, so
Ole
Ole Miss, we know has paid players. We know those Ole Miss alum have been paying players for a long time. They've gotten multiple classes where they locked up the best player at their position repeatedly. Like I know those Ole Miss boosters will open up the wallet. So that's something. And I
Bring
know
them parties.
Texas has been anti-NIL until this year, apparently. Now suddenly they're cool with it because Texas was one of the schools that we don't allow our players to do NIL. That's not something we do. But at the same time, playing for Ole Miss, you're in the SEC, and I don't want to use that SEC angle as that makes you a better player. What I do want to say is it gives you more film against better schools, and that's important for scouts that watch it. The downside, though, is hotty toddy is like the worst college saying of all. Like, what does that even mean? I don't know why any Ole Miss fan would proudly walk around saying like hotty totty and like give 5. Like, it's a weird thing. I feel like I would look better if I was a player. I feel like I would look.
But they don't
better
even have a
if I
mascot
wore the
right
white
now.
helmet.
Isn't
So
that a
I
drink?
would go with Texas, but I do going back to the original answer, all that off the side, I do think Ole Miss would be a better opportunity for him. He has the legacy with his uncle. It's SEC, so he's going to come in and immediately get film with good players over and over and over and over and over again, and that stuff helps guide you to the next level. So I would take Ole Miss.
He's Manning.
But I mean,
I know he's Manning.
Texas still
But
moving
Peyton
to
went-
the SEC though.
But that's going to be his last year there.
All people are gonna do, all you
yeah.
do with Texas is just go there to disappoint and
Hey,
underachieve.
Messi. Hey, Messi. I understand they ruined
Messi
your
is on
back in the
demon
day.
time.
Okay? I understand they ruined your 3-peat back in the day. Okay.
They did.
I have a question for Cole.
What's up?
I had a question for you, being a Mississippi State fan. Did I hear that right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Right? Okay. So obviously, like, the conversations come up with. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait. I'm going off on a tangent. You guys were talking about something. I am sorry.
No, Aisha,
No,
the
you're good
table
now.
is all yours. You say
No,
whatever you
it's
like.
freestyle.
okay.
It's too late. You grabbed the mic and ran with it.
No,
Go ahead,
Aisha,
run
you
with
need to
it.
know something. We have a saying on this show. Don't tuck it. Just let it
Let
hang.
it hang.
I wasn't here for that. I wasn't here like this, but I was definitely in the chat. Like, y'all are on one today.
Mary was
Mary was
Yeah,
on
Mary.
there. We
We
were innocent
came along for the
bystanders,
ride.
just caught in the fray. We were just
I forgot.
watching and
I
spectating.
forgot.
Oh, I saw Mass dip his head back, Mass. In case you don't know, go back to our episode yesterday. Fast forward to the I object section. Watch that, and you'll be all the way caught up, and you'll understand.
It was the Kellen Moore talk. So.
It was funny
Oh,
about
but,
it was that what she
but
said
for
was
Cole-
she said. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, Uncle Spoonie.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to ask you, since you saw Dak Prescott play at Mississippi State, obviously the conversation of him being mobile again has come up, and I wanted to know how you feel about it, especially since, I mean, me personally, I feel like it was such an intricate part of his game. And one of the reasons why he even got in the NFL was him being somewhat of a dual threat, or more of a dual threat then. But yeah, I wanted to see how you felt about the idea of him running more again and what that could do for this offense.
Yeah, with him being mobile, that was like his highlight in college. You know, that's what he mainly did, and it kind of made, you know, it's kind of funny because a lot of people be like, "Well, Dak Prescott's not a mobile, he's not a scrambler." I like, shoot, that's what he did most of his whole college career. You know what I'm
The
saying?
offensive line was woo.
You know, and with the wide receivers that he was working with in Mississippi State, his legs made him dynamic. You know what I'm saying? You don't know if he was going to run it 20 yards down the field or pass it 50 yards down the field. So, yeah, with him running again, I would like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean, I
with
guess
you.
People think about Dak running in the NFL, and we're thinking about what we've seen, like what the way the Cowboys have utilized him in terms of his mobility is a lot of those, you know, those read options and stuff in the red zone. Like we've seen him be effective there. That's not who he was in Mississippi State. He was popping out like 25 and 40-yard runs, like stiff arming linebackers and hurdling safeties. Like he's a dynamic runner. If you think about it, the only time I'd say really we've seen that at the NFL level is when he did it against the Washington Redskins at the time, and he stiff armed Josh Gordon to the ground. Josh Norman to the ground. Thank you for that. And had that big run. That's really the only time we've seen Dak really have that big chunk yardage play. He did that a lot in college. I'm not saying he's going to be Lamar Jackson, but there's more to his athleticism than what we've seen.
Yeah, he did it in the playoff game against the Seahawks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the Seahawks.
I mean, he did it a couple times in the 49ers game. Let's be real here. It's just I feel like
He felt more
also
comfortable,
too.
yeah.
I also feel like with this young receiver core, and us being young at the tackle position, we could see him rolling out more and getting under pressure and having to scramble and stuff like that. And we need his mobility, especially for what we're trying to do. I think on the offensive side of the ball and reestablishing like a run game.
Yeah.
So, I just wanted to get y'all's opinions on it. I actually am really excited about it.
Oh yeah.
Hey, real quick. I just want to let everybody know. Make sure you like and share this thing and get everybody here in the next 10 minutes. I just got a message. Somebody might come through and let it hang here in just a second. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Hang again.
I'm just gonna be honest with you. There might be a particular lawyer coming through here in a minute to join another resident lawyer in the building right now. That's coming through here in about 10 minutes. And this is going to be very interesting from last night to tonight. So we'll wait and see. So just to let you know, there could be in about, look at my clock, about 10 minutes. There could very well be a Mary Ella, a.k.a. Margarita Mary, popping in here soon. So it's going to be definitely a fun time on that side. Let's pivot around, though. A little college talk. Did a little NFL talk. We've done a little bit of this and the third. And again, ladies and gentlemen, they're in the chat. Fire the questions off.
Aisha, you okay?
And Aisha just fell. Oh, Aisha, you okay?
Just got attacked by a ninja live on air.
Oh my God.
A little bit too much.
Oh my God. I was so scary. But everybody in the chat, keep firing questions. Keep firing the questions. We're going to hit you up. We're going to touch those in general as we're going through this thing. And look, Aisha was like, I was like, yo, tonight, blah 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 blah. She's like, do I have to download StreamYard? Oh my God. I was like, damn, you good. I was like, look, I was like, yo, just hit the link. You good. Don't worry about it. She's like, that's why it's cool. But shout out to you, though. I want to say, shout out to you in the school. And you've been doing a lot of grinding. I want to give you your flowers here and what you've been doing and grinding on the back. And I'm campaigning for you. And it's awesome to see you do that work.
Thank you so much.
But you good, right?
I don't feel bad because earlier today, or right before our show started, Nix is like, "Are you trying to join or what?" He sent 2 links back to back. He put the StreamYard link and then he put the YouTube link. And I typed in StreamYard.com on my laptop. And then I put / and I typed in the last part of the YouTube thing.
Oh yeah.
And it's like 404 not found. And I'm like, okay, well there's either a capital I or an L. Maybe I just typed the wrong one. So I'm like retyping it and he's like, "Are you joining? We gotta get started." I'm like, "I'm trying, it's not working." And then I realized I was using the YouTube link. So I can't join StreamYard. That's a completely different website. So don't feel bad or have to apologize because I've done this multiple times and I still mess up.
There you go.
Hey, I got Hall with a question. And Hall, we appreciate you over there on Facebook. What I need you to do is, though, see that Pick 6 Sports, open up your app. You got YouTube on your phone. I know you're on your phone. Don't lie to me. Go over there and hit that sub for us real quick. I know where you're at, but we appreciate you anyways. This Zeke last year with Dallas.
Yeah.
Oh, Aisha, yeah, for sure.
I keep
10 toes down.
Y'all can hear me.
Yeah, 10 toes down. 10 toes down.
Like
yeah.
on the Twitter Spaces, you can hear me.
Appreciate you, my guy, Hall. Appreciate you. Okay, Aisha with the Mats last year for Zeke in Dallas.
I've said this a few times. I think I don't know if it's Zeke's last year. I don't know if it's last year, but I will say it's his last year on this contract.
Okay.
That's smart.
Smack.
They might give him something respectable.
Yeah. Smack.
They
Last year
ain't continuing. Yeah, they have the out after this year, and they ain't paying. They ain't continuing that contract. Just Steven ain't continuing that, man.
Tenfold.
They ain't cutting Zeke. They like Massey said, man. This is last year on that contract though, but they ain't getting rid of him though.
Okay. Cole, Spoonie. Oh, last year. Y'all think this is the last year or no?
No.
No.
I agree with Massey. Last year on that contract, 2-1-4 will go out the door together.
Okay. Okay. Oh.
Let's let Cole answer.
Oh, go ahead, Cole. Last year for Zeke.
Man, that's a tough one, man.
It is. So what we do? We ask you the hard-hitting question.
I'm gonna say yeah.
Ooh, okay. He said, my man. Okay. All right. Cole says, yeah, it's a wrap. He's out of here. Okay. Professor O, last year for Zeke?
So, Nick knows how I am with Zeke. I'm not the biggest Zeke fan. I'm not a Zeke hater. It is what it is.
You're rational.
I'm rational with my take on him. I'm not trying to hot take this. I'm being honest. I think he's more likely to get extended by adding void years, similar to what Tank did, in an effort to stay on the team, than he is to be cut. I do think they're going to come to the table, like Massey said, and say, hey, we're not going to keep you under this current contract. If you want to be back, we'll work with you. Here's the terms. We'll add a couple void years, spread some of the money out, lower your cap hit. I think he would stay. I think he would take that opportunity to stay on the team personally rather than go elsewhere, because we had Mama E on the show. We had Dawn on the show.
Yeah,
shout out to her for joining us. She's joined Twitter Spaces before too. Zeke loves being here.
Yeah.
It's not just I'm happy to be a Cowboy, happy to be an NFL player. Like he genuinely loves being in Dallas, and I think if he has any way that he can make it work without taking like pennies on the dollar on the contract, he will accommodate their request. So I do think he's more likely, if he has an even decent year, like 800 plus yards, he will be extended in an effort to drop his cap hit to keep him adding void years at the end. So yeah, I don't think it's his last year.
I didn't even think about his closeness with Dak. Like they're legit best friends.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a good point,
look,
guys.
it's Freestyle Friday, right? Correct.
Mm-hmm.
We're not tucking it. We're letting it hang.
Oh.
I mean, Dak and Zeke was out here in the streets with penis water pistols. They're definitely best friends. Okay?
They was out here with what?
Penis
You
water
heard him?
pistols.
When?
Oh,
That sounds like something from the boys.
Well, the strip club.
oh yeah, but it's real. They got caught in real time, picture wise, like it's out there. If you missed it out years ago, I'll dial it up and I'll
You
find
know
it.
what,
Out.
That was last year here during that off season.
No, we don't know that yet.
But neither here nor there. Again, your franchise quarterback wants him. The connection, right? Man, we kind of understand that. On top of that, we have to be honest when it comes to Zeke. Look, say what we want to say about production and different things, because we always do certain things about how the running scheme is bland, how the wide receivers don't block well enough, things of that ilk, right? On a bum knee, he was still top 10 rusher last year.
I still think he has something in the tank too.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's a top 5 in the NFC, but top 7 in the NFL. Obviously, maybe a little fluff there against the Eagles at the end. We understand that. But we know garbage time yard is only for quarterbacks. We don't talk about running backs or anybody else.
Yeah.
But neither here nor there on that.
Well, the
Neither
receivers
here-
that catch those garbage time yards,
Yeah.
we only track
we
it
don't
on
do
the
that. Yeah,
quarterbacks.
we don't do none of that. Yeah.
And
It's only
Diggs.
quarterbacks.
Just Diggs and quarterbacks.
Yeah, it's just Diggs and
Yeah.
quarterbacks.
Man.
Exactly. But
I just
again,
never seen that before. I've never seen people
Right.
care about that like
Right.
that. Sorry, continue.
yeah, but again, though, on a bum knee with a torn PCL, we saw what he did. I think here's what it matters, and I agree with Mass and I agree with O in this stretch. I think there's going to be a coming to Jesus between them and the franchise, and I think here's what's going to happen, in my opinion. And obviously, it's going to depend on what he does this year. I'll go out there and say it now. I think Zeke's a 1,000-yard rusher again this year. I'm gonna buy into the offensive line a little bit, maybe a little ahead of schedule, but I'm gonna buy into it.
Buy it.
But with everything that happened last year on a bum knee, and he got 1,000 yards.
Buy it.
You're telling me he's not going to get 1,000 yards this year?
Let me say this,
I
Nick.
agree.
Okay.
With the offensive line, this offensive line is a whole lot more prepared to run block than they are to pass block.
I said it.
The running team, yeah.
That's
Yep,
fair.
absolutely.
That's fair.
Thank you.
So, but I think what's going to happen in the coming of the meeting of the minds are going to be like, they're going to sit down and be like, look, you held it early before the quarterback. This conversation to me is a slam dunk going to happen. You held out before the quarterback. We see all things transpired. So we got you the bread. Okay. Let's get here to the back end and let's make it happen this way.
Yep.
And I think that's what's going to happen. And I think they're going to have a meeting of the minds. And I think he is going to be here. It will be an extension. He will not be back on the same contract because it's not very fortuitous for this team, right? That's where it's at. So yes, I do agree he'll be here, but it will not be the same contract though. If now he does dig in and says no, I ain't going to restructure nothing else.
Then
He's gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, he's definitely gone. But I think
that's the only thing I'm
his
saying.
relationship with Dak and everything encompassing of that, I think he understands. I think he wants to be here long term. Maybe not for his entire career, but he's not trying to leave here in the next couple of years. And that's where I'm at.
I think too, when you look at his production last year, like the 1,000-yard seasons, what everybody kind of holds on to, saying he hit 1,000 yards. So what if he did it against the Eagles and when they were playing the backups? What's more important to me was he had 10 touchdowns.
That part.
I don't care about the yardage. So like if Zeke goes out there and has 850 yards, but has double-digit touchdowns, and he's converting those short yardage situations where we need a first, he's converting in the red zone. I'm cool with Zeke. I think we just need to shift our expectations for who he is at this point in his career. He's not that top 2 or top 3 running back in the league anymore, but that's totally fine. That's part of being a running back. Wear and tear is very real, especially at that position. There's a high attrition rate of running backs for a reason because players can't sustain. If he's able to give you 800 or even 800 to 1,000 yards and 8 to 12 touchdowns, that's really good. A lot of teams don't get that from their top running back, much less having 2 guys who could potentially do that. So I think as long as we shift our expectations to something realistic, like he's not having a 1,400-yard year, most likely. I think fans will have an easier time appreciating Zeke for what he is versus what he used to be. And I think that's the issue where people are saying he's washed. He's not washed. He's still a competitive NFL running back. He is still a legit NFL starting running back. He's just not a top 3 back in the league. That doesn't make him washed. So again, this is coming from somebody who's not the biggest Zeke fan. So listen to me.
Well, and here's the thing.
Look at his draft class.
Wait. Well, you're not wrong there, Aisha. But here's the thing. And what in some of the numbers that I was talking about is in rest in peace to Marion Barber. Marion Barber put up those kind of numbers you're talking about. Right, and that's what you're looking for, a closer. And we talked about this last year on the channel about Zeke being a closer. You're up in games in the fourth quarter. Let's get the bulk of the carries. Let's be a closer. Let's make sure when we're inside the 20, not just in those stretches when you're up and getting the bulk of the runs, but once we're inside the 20, that's in, be a closer. Right, is what we're looking for. So it's not about going out here and putting up arcade numbers anymore. It's about being a closer in the right realms and scoring those points and doing those things. So I'm definitely with that. I completely agree. And again, rest in peace to Marion Barber and everything. God rest him and whatnot. But maybe some of those numbers that you're talking about, very much so in the building. But with that being said, y'all know the drill. I got Hoss as a man of my word. He jumped over from the Facebook stream to the YouTube stream. He hit the sub. Ladies and gentlemen in the chat, y'all know what time it is. Fire emojis.
Fire up.
Get them up. Fire it up. Fire it up for our guy, Todd. All right, Todd. I saw Todd. I ain't talking about preach. My guy, Tyrone Hall, coming through from Facebook and jumping over here and giving us the sub. Shout out to our guy, Hall, in the building. But Mr. Kimmy did have a question for us on back in. And y'all better, look, y'all in the chat, y'all here chilling. Man, you better hit that fire emoji for our guy who just got in here and get excited because we're excited. Dadgummit, we're excited about it. Boom. There it is. Boom. There it is, man. Light up the chat for our guy Hall that just came in here and subbed. Came in with the question here, and this kind of came up in the space yesterday, right?
On the show yesterday, yeah.
Oh, it was a show too. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah. So came up with if the Eagles release Jalen Reagor, do y'all think the Cowboys should pick him up? Let me start with my guy Cole Cowboy. Cole. Should the Cowboys go out here and maybe look at Reagor, right? TCU, am I wrong, right? Right, TCU, right? Hometown kid.
If we use him for like a special teams guy, like a returner, I mean,
right.
I mean, I was cool with getting Corey Clement, but I really don't want all that Eagles stank on our team, bro.
Come on now. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you're yes.
Yeah. I'm cool with him being on. As far as returning, no receiver, man.
Okay. All right. Aisha, Jalen Reagor gets released. Let me throw the question back up there real quick. The fire emoji started showing up for our guy coming in with the sub, so I had to do it for Hall. But again, if Reagor was to get released, bring him in. You good? Yeah? No? Maybe? Indifferent?
I definitely think like this team needs to designate a returner, so I would be open to that. But I am the same way. I don't know if he really brings any value, like from a receiver standpoint. I feel like I don't know, some of the guys that we already have, even though they don't have NFL time, may be just as productive as he is right now.
Right.
And yeah, I'm not very interested in it. Even though I heard Matt say the other night that the Cowboys and the Eagles do have a history of, swapping players or whatever the case may be. But he's not something that I think would be a good addition to this team right now, or a difference maker.
Okay. All right. Spoony, Rager, yep or no? Oh, the Spoony 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. Hey, the Cowboys scouted him. They liked him.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I don't be disrespectful to the Eagles. I know there's the Eagles fan, but sometimes the things they touch, it's not good. They don't make.
But you gotta break his bad habits, Uncle Spoony.
Yeah, I'm trying to get rid of the bad habits. I'm trying not to. I'll behave. I gotta behave. I did a rant on the Eagles last week, so I don't try to behave. But I'll say this:
that eye roll,
TCU, they scouted him. We need a returner. I don't think any of us agrees with Jalen Tolbert taking punts. We surely don't want CeeDee Lamb taking any punts, right? So
they already said that. They already said Lamb's done anyway, so we ain't got to worry about that.
Not even a question. So, but with Rager, what he brings to the table, he's a speed guy. He got 2 years left on his rookie contract.
Speed guy. Okay. Checking that.
Need some speed. And on top of that, we all know, just look in the future, if Dwayne Washington has a good year,
James Washington, yeah.
He leaves next year, you still have some depth with Jalen Reagor because he's there for another 2 years. Third year if you want to pick up the option. So I take it all the way.
Okay. You bringing in Rager?
I'm cool with it. I don't think it hurts. I mean, if you look at Cedric Wilson, who's been one of our return guys, he averaged like 3.8 yards per punt return or something like that for his career. If you look at CeeDee Lamb, who we know was a prolific talent, he hasn't been an elite return guy either. He's averaged just around 8 yards per return. Jalen Rager has actually averaged 9.2 yards per return. His rookie year averaged 23.5 yards, but that was on a real small sample size of just 4 returns, but he did have a punt return touchdown. So 9.2 yards over 35 punt returns is pretty solid. So I think that in and of itself, if I'm deciding between him and Dontario Drummond, I'm taking Rager. If I'm deciding between him or Simi Fehoko or Noah Brown, I know they like Noah for blocking purposes and being a special teams player, but if I have a guy who's a return man, I feel confident I can find another gunner. We don't have another return guy in the roster, so I would sign him.
All right, Mass.
Yeah, no, definitely. I like Rager out of the draft. First round talent. At the official combine, he ran a 4.4, but they say he was injured. At his pro day, he was clocked at a 4.2. So he has a speed. He's a speed guy, and he's a little guy. He's a like a stocky guy. He is, in college he was really known for his yards after the catch and not being able to be brought down. He hasn't shown that as much in the NFL, but like he has that ability. Except punt return, he's done good. So bring him in. It's not going to cost you a lot. If they cut him, it won't cost you that much. Give him a contract. Let him be the special teams guy and let him battle it out for that 4 or 5 receiver spot. And if he can bring anything extra to the as a rotational wide receiver, it's just bonus.
Listening to you guys, I feel like I was being a little unfair because also looking at it's kind of like with James Washington too, the level of QB play that they were dealing with. You have to take that into consideration and what you're getting from them. So thanks for the, getting me right. No, thank you.
with that being said, I'm going to put a pin because there's a question I have on the backside about these wide receivers that we bring in. But
come on, this for
but
there she go.
Hi.
Hello.
Happy Friday night.
Hopefully your Friday is going fantastic. Hopefully you don't have to work this weekend or anything else and everything's fine. Mary, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm full. of good food.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm about to chill in a little bit. But yeah, I want to come say hi to you guys.
Yeah, obviously. Since our show yesterday, it's been very entertaining, if you will, in the spaces. Early on tonight in the Freestyle Friday show
How was it?
and whatnot. Well, I mean, we have we unveiled the new segment of I
y'all
Object.
told people to let it hang.
Yeah.
Oh no. On the space, y'all said let it hang.
No, on the show last night.
I said let it hang on the show. And
She said
I
don't
was
tuck
here
it.
for that. I thought you said on the Twitter space. I was about to say y'all.
Oh no! Other people today on the Twitter space were bringing up that said a segment and whatnot from Mary about and in context, Kellen Moore being ranked number 2 as the play caller in the NFL behind Andy Reid and only Andy Reid via PFF. Agree or disagree with that standpoint? And that was Mary's segment with the object. She definitely objected. For sure objected.
He was objecting from the beginning of the
Mary,
show.
I need you to
that's
understand
true.
this. I was at work sitting 2 feet away from my boss, the VP of our company, and I get this Twitter update from our guy Wink saying, "Don't tuck it, let it hang." And I busted out laughing. And my boss was like, "What are you laughing at?" I'm like, all right, so last night, what happened was,
what happened was,
which he appreciated. Luckily, it was like, that's actually pretty funny. So
it was funny about it was when she was explaining it. The funny part is we all looking at each other, and the facial expression is like, in my mind, I'm like, I know I don't have a dirty mind to be. I know. I look at DJ, and our faces. I'm like, we trying to hold it in, but we also try to laugh at the same time. But
I was like this at one point.
Yeah,
y'all like. And she was like, he just has to let it hang.
Oh man, listen.
We have a very like short, rough draft. Like, hey, we're gonna talk about this topic. Spoonie's gonna do a certain Spoonie sermon. We don't ask like Spoonie, what are you gonna talk about? We just say, you got your sermon ready? Cool. All right, and then we just gotta move on, and that's it. So when we get to the show, we know we have like 3 or 4 things. We're gonna pivot to the chat. We're gonna do our couple segments and hop out. So we didn't know what to expect at all from here.
I didn't know what to expect either. It just came out.
I got outlawed.
What about
she got a hashtag. No, she got a hashtag.
Here's when you know you made it. Whenever they shrink it down to just a DTI, don't tuck it. You already know you made it. We're already down to 3 letters on what happened. So as Mary's like, I object. In case in point, Mary was trying to object for about halfway through the show. That's really what was happening.
The objections was eating up.
She was ready to
Y'all
object.
gave me too much power.
We did. We should have moved up the I object segment a little bit higher.
Yes.
Because she was way too ready to object. By the time we got there, and look, she started out strong. Kellen Moore, we looked at it last year, blah, 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 and then you saw the pause, and she was like, just don't tuck it. Let it hang. I was like,
I was dead.
I was like, because she was kind of breaking it down. She was breaking it down about Kellen Moore, and then she just paused and was like, nah, this is what it is.
I thought she was done because the pause was like a noticeable pause. Like it was like a 2-3 second count, and I thought Nix was about to jump in, and she was like, just don't tuck it. Just gotta let it hang. And I'm like,
my wish for what Mary did last night is if Kellen Moore calls out the plays and he has a card, it's gonna be DTI.
Yes.
Let it hang.
Somebody get
It
this
has to be a
information
play
to
call.
Kellen, please.
That's gonna be a thing now. Like whenever someone puts something out there, just puts it out there on Twitter or anything like that, it's gotta be hashtag DTI.
Here's the thing now.
You can make this global, man.
Fired from a job
Yeah, look,
I don't have yet.
Here's the other thing too. Last offseason, right, we had the mojo moments is what McCarthy talked about in the games or whatever. Mojo moments. We've pivoted from mojo moments, guys, this year. This year, let it hang. No, it ain't about a mojo moment. At certain times in the game, you just gotta let it hang.
Yep. Facts.
Don't tuck it.
Every time
After the show, once
Don't
the show
say
ended too, we were talking about it too. We're like, there's gonna be a game. It's gonna happen inevitably during the course of the season. Or we have one of those games where Kellen maybe was a little bit too vanilla, and after the game we're gonna be like, he tucked it, man. He tucked it. He should've let him.
Y'all not saying that out loud.
No,
No, I'm saying
I'm
it.
100%. No, I'm saying
I'm
it.
100% saying
I am
that.
saying it.
Aisha, we're here now. Like the cat is out of the bag.
There we
Look,
go.
It's out there. It's
Yep.
out there.
Yes.
Let it
Make
hang.
that. Make that.
What is
Let it
that?
hang.
Does it say let it hang?
Yeah.
Don't tuck it. Let
Y'all
it
going
hang.
to jail.
Yeah.
You say you're going to jail.
Look, the cat is out of the bag. You
It's
can't
there.
you can't put the cat back in the bag.
There's going to
now.
be a time. There's going to be a time where Dak throws a touchdown pass or something like that, and he's kind of like standing there strutting to the sideline. I'm like, man, that dude just let it hang.
Yeah.
Let it hang. He let it hang, walking back to that sideline.
man.
Y'all.
Hey, low key
I
though.
immediately started thinking about the Conor McGregor walks that one year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just
Y'all nasty.
let it hang.
Which is funny. Hey, here, which is funny because as that segment was happening and we were all like, whatever. Spoony thought he was slick. I watched Spoony though. Spoony was like, he put his hand up here. He was kind of doing this right here. He was just kind of moving his hand in the camera. I didn't see it. He was kind of moving it around. I was like, oh. I was like, we're here.
My thought,
But
I
Spoony
was like-
said, I'm going here.
I have a question for everyone though. Like, am I the only
Let it
person
hang.
that's- tater tots? Am I the only person? Yes, jail outlaw, jail. And I will put you in zip ties too. Anyway,
Whoa.
I ain't used yo. I ain't had yo.
Fam, you just said you put him in zip ties. Like, hold on.
Hey, that's what we do sometimes in the field. When we're like,
Okay, I don't know where we're going here.
You're letting it
Ask your
hang, and
question.
then
I'm
zip
sorry.
ties coming out.
Zip
I'm no,
ties.
no more hanging. I'm sorry.
It'll
No
be a
more
fun
hanging.
evening.
Okay, seriously. I really am optimistic about the defense being better this year, and not from like, I think Professor O mentioned the turnovers and the likelihood of us getting interceptions like that this year and stuff like that, but just from being stout and especially against the run and stuff. I feel like a lot of people have like short-term memory and forget how injured we were on the defensive line for a good part of the year, especially with key run stoppers like Tank, Brent Urban. I just feel like that just kind of gets lost in translation when we're talking about how good we were against the run last year. So I just kind of wanted to know if I'm the only person that's excited about this defense maybe trending up.
Hold on for a second. Mary, real
Mary,
quickly.
you about to object me?
No.
Real quickly. No. Because wait. Because here's the thing. Wait. Because here's the thing about the segment. She doesn't. As a lawyer, you don't have to object, right? You can agree, right?
Yeah.
And that's what it boils down to. So for before Mary decides to object to a whole bunch of stuff and everything else, okay, is all I'm saying. We're just gonna go right now. One more time, I'll allow you to ask the question, and we'll let Mary respond. What is the said question again, Aisha? And we'll let Mary respond. And then we have turned this into a pseudo I object question. That's what I asked the question. I let her go. It turned into let it hang, whatever. But for you ask a question, and we'll let Mary go because I know Mary, you don't have a lot of time. So I'll give you a little shot before you get up out of here. Come on now. Go ahead. Ask the question again, Aisha.
So I guess I was trying to figure out how to ask the question because I didn't really ask the question. But I guess is the defense? Do you think the defense is going to be more stout against the run this year, or do you think the defense is trending up, like they're building upon what they had last year?
Okay, Aisha. Better run defense in 22. Do you object or agree?
So I like what she said about the injuries, because that's something that I really hadn't considered as much as I should have. I do think that those injuries made a difference. We were missing some people on that D-line all throughout the year.
Level 2, sorry.
It had to shift more than we initially anticipated. So I do think it can be better. I'm not sure if it will be, but I do think it can be better pending health. So I don't completely object.
Oh, you don't completely sustained. Is that where we're at? Is it Mary for the pseudo a segment of object. You're sustaining here.
I'll take the sustain.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I
Objection, hearsay.
Oh!
I don't even know what that means, but I
Objection.
saw it in the
Relevant.
Johnny Depp case, so I'm going with that. That's my new lawyer talk. I learned everything I know about the legal system from Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
Very fair.
Stop
very
it.
fair.
That is a legitimate way to learn about the legal system. That case, it's a perfect case study.
10-4. The new sub. We got him over here. He's the new sub tonight as well. Says over under
All
more
right, guys,
turnovers
I
than
gotta-
last season. Mary,
gotta
hey,
peace out.
Mary, have a good night. Appreciate you
Have a
coming
good
by.
night.
Hey, make sure
Blessings.
for the rest of your night though, just let it hang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, I always let it hang.
Oh,
Always.
Hey,
appreciate you, Mary.
bye.
Yeah.
Why y'all?
But Todd checking in with the great question here. Over under turnovers than last season, man. It's very hard to repeat turnovers wise, right? Very
Yeah,
hard.
That's difficult. It's gonna. I would take the under. Doesn't mean the defense is going to be worse overall, but just turnover wise, got to take the under. Just because I mean, Diggs alone, 11 picks. That's going to be hard to repeat.
Sheesh.
Um,
Right.
Yeah, I would probably take the under on that. But the defense can be better, but the turnovers is going to be hard to repeat.
Got to dial up the pressure. To me, and I'm with you there, Mass. If the pressure goes up from the front seven and the turnovers go down, it can balance itself for sure. Anybody buying the over under? How about the push? How many turnovers did we have last year? Oh, how many turnovers was it?
It was 34, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, how about this one? Will the Cowboys get 30 turnovers this year?
No.
I think like 20. I think 25.
25ish?
Don't
Okay.
ask.
Yeah, I think like
Don't
25 because I think we do have to give this coaching staff credit for their teaching and them actually like
Sure.
they come out and they are
They attack the ball.
emphasizing
Mhm.
ball skills and getting turnovers and so I don't think a lot of it is fluky just because a lot of the coaching staff that's something that they have reputations for doing, but I do agree that the number I think it may be 25.
Okay. All right.
I think we dropping like 10 maybe.
All right. Smacked 30 turnovers again for this team? Or 30 plus, I should say, Montana. Oh, Smack. Uh-oh. I'm gonna hit him with that Twitter. I said this is like Twitter space. Smack going once. Smack going twice. All right, Smack. Appreciate you, brother Montana. I know you're kind of at work and different things, but you know what happens when you don't talk? Bim. You got to go. But if you come back in, you know what the link is. It's pinned to the top. Come on through. Cole.
You just said I'm
under.
here.
Oh,
Yeah.
As soon as you said that.
oh, well, come back. You didn't say nothing. You was
It was a
typing.
private chat. He said it like like literally the second you hit it.
Yeah.
You heard him?
No, he is.
He said I'm here.
In the
Like
private
literally
chat.
the exact
In the
same
private,
time.
in the private chat, he did. Montana
Yeah.
just come back up. It's fine. Cole, while we're getting him back in here,
Yeah.
30, yes or no?
I'll say no, but I will say this. If people still try Diggs, you know what I'm saying, it could happen again. You know what I'm saying? People will try him. They still try. They tried him all season. They didn't stop.
Yeah.
So. But right now, I say 27. Let's just say.
Okay. All right. You hit Diggs with the F around and find out if you want to throw it over that way. Montana. 30 turnovers, yes or no?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay.
Oh, look at you. There you are.
I'm gonna say less because it all depends on how much pressure the D line give out this season.
It's crazy that
That's fair.
we got that much, and I wouldn't particularly say the D line consistently got pressure last season. Am I tripping?
I mean, I think the defense got a lot of pressure last year.
I think they did, but I don't think it was consistent just because there
Right,
was
that's
just
fair.
so
A
many
lot of
guys
different
in
ins
and
and
out of
outs,
the lines.
and right, ins and outs, and things that were happening across it. I think, and again, that's what I kind of went back to. I think, in general, the turnovers might be down, but I think a consistent pressure from the front seven can be better,
Mhm.
right? You know, so it's an interesting take for sure.
Let me do a follow up to that though.
Sure.
Will we block 2 punts last year?
Yes.
Over under punt blocks.
Taking under on both.
I say
It's hard to block punts. It's very hard in the
It
NFL to block
is.
punts.
It really is.
It's also very hard to repeat
Shout out to
takeaways
Bones,
because there's
though.
that luck
Special
factor.
teams matter.
We've been doing it a lot though.
I mean, yeah. Because remember, what was his name? Was it Nashawn Wright? He missed that punt block the week before, and then the next week or whatever he had it. Was it in the game?
He
touched the ball. He touched
the
ball against Denver, and then
Oh, so we had three.
So it's not a.
True.
So again, it's
So
not.
we
a
had
fluke.
three. We had three.
True,
Yeah.
we had 3.
Yeah, so I don't think it's a fluke. I think it's a lot of it's design and what some of they're
But-
doing. So maybe.
Yeah. So we had 3, but one of them actually resulted in a first
then get the
down.
ball
That Denver
back,
game,
right.
stupid,
Fine.
stupid rule, by the way. But I actually called my hot take, my bold take one week was the punt block against New England.
Oh,
Luke Gifford came through for me on my bold take.
nice.
That
But,
was one of the
Can I
coolest
go?
punt blocks
Can I
I've
go
ever
push?
seen.
Can I go push on the 2?
Yeah.
Can I go push?
Yeah, go push.
I kind of want to
3.
go push. Okay, I tell you what. I'll be honest with y'all. We have hit a fork in the road here right now. To be honest, right? We got people in here rocking with us, and we're still enjoying the session. Granted, we have been rocking for 2 hours and 25 minutes. My guy, Professor O, does have to pivot and leave. So we got 2 options here. And we'll let the chat decide. I know. We'll let the chat decide here.
It's only 10 o'clock.
Oh, no. Well, West Coast Mass over here. He's out there in Cali. But here's the thing. So we'll let the chat decide. We can say rock in here. We can rock here, and Professor O will go do his thing on the East Coast because it's 1 a.m. right now. Right. The pale L's and everything.
That's my
Sunday.
thing. I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah.
That's the thing I'm gonna do after the show.
Yeah. He ain't gonna let it hang. He's just gonna go to bed. He might let. Well, never mind. We're not gonna go that far.
Tuck
Yeah, right.
I'm tucking. I'm going to bed.
Tucking and going to bed. But with that being said, we can still sit here and rock out for a little bit, or we can pivot and go and crank up a Twitter space. Chat, what do y'all want to do? You want to keep rocking here? You want to go crank up a Twitter space? Spoony's looking like, well, I'm up here in New York. It's 1 o'clock my time too. He looked to the ladies like, O gets to go, but here I am.
I'm tired too.
I didn't understand what I was going through.
IT schools whooping my ass.
Yeah. I'm hanging it up myself. I'm in the East Coast as well.
Oh no,
Coles, are you in Georgia too, Coles? I think you're.
Yeah, I'm in Atlanta.
Yeah, Coles and I are.
Look, Mendoza ain't 40. He said it's 1 my time too. He said he ain't 40, but I mean it is what it is. There's levels to this thing. We understand that.
People.
It's understand that. But with that being said, what do y'all want to do? Chat, let us know. Y'all want to keep rocking here? We'll go crank up a space. I mean, Mass, you have time apparently. It's so early.
We good, man. I'm good.
Tyrone said let's continue to rock. Tyrone's feeling good about it. I do want to ask you guys too. I appreciate the people that join us, whether you're in the chat participating through text or you join us, whether it's a short segment, you ask a question, hop off, or you hang out like the people out below. Montana, Coles Cowboys, Montana's Spac Nation, Coles Cowboys YouTube is Coles Cowboys. Massey is the 4D podcast. Make sure you go subscribe to them, check them out, give them the same appreciation, respect you give us. We appreciate you guys joining us. I ask you to do the same thing for them. If you don't have a chance to watch it live, go like it, share it, and then check it later because you can always replay it, run it back. So make sure to do that. It goes a long way. It's a small ask on our part. We're not pushing anything really. All we're asking is for 1 or 2 clicks. So we appreciate you guys joining us and rocking out with us. And if you don't want to join and you just want to ask questions in the chat, that's great because we love to throw it around in the show. That's what the show is for. And if you want to join us, maybe this week wasn't for you. Maybe next Friday you're free. We'd love to have you on. Again, hop on for a few minutes and ask a question and bounce. If you don't have a lot of time or if you want to stay on and just hang out like Cole is in Montana, then feel free to do that.
Hey, just real quick, just shout out Stephen White, Maricela. Happy birthday.
Yeah, so
happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Massey, I don't know if you know this, but Stephen White is my guy. And he wants Let's Go to be our third tight end. I don't know if you know that. But
It's true. It's
what
true.
he's trying to do. Because you mentioned he's this athletic guy with this Lincoln size, and he has this idea that
Man,
I don't know what will happen, but I just want to throw it out.
But not only that height, but those arm length, man. Just get up there and just get those red zone target.
Dip on the crap out someone.
Yeah,
so if you see that's been Stephen White's idea. So just
there you go. Hey, Dak doesn't even got to aim. He just throw it in that general
direction. 7-1. Yeah, come on, 7-1. I mean, wherever it's at, I got it. Hey, look, and shout out to our guy Todd who came through, hit that sub and everything tonight.
Yeah,
he
thank
says,
you.
"It's like this. Hey, man, how about that hashtag P6S family?
There we go. I like that.
Let's get that trend.
Hey, travel safe, Todd.
Yeah, travel safe. Yeah, absolutely. And hit that out there. And you know what? The family's going to grow this season. Let me tell you something real quick. Like, maybe a little side note. Y'all know Spoonie, Mary, who just came and dipped out real quick, Professor O, Knicks, as we're into our fourth season. I guarantee you this. The family's going to grow this year with the content. Stay tuned. Things are happening. But neither here nor there. But yeah, with the thank you guys. Yeah. But yeah, that's a great point. Oh, that's a great point. So yeah, we're walking here a little bit longer and we'll see how the chat goes and what happened. And we might pivot to a space either way. Professor O, sir, go get that sleep and enjoy that.
I'm tucking it. I'm not letting it hang any longer.
Yeah.
Going to bed because I got the 3 kiddos alone tomorrow. So.
Professor.
I got the same thing. I feel you.
You know, you got to make sure you let it hang tomorrow because you're going to the Braves game.
I am. Yes.
Ooh,
yes.
Braves.
Freddie Freeman coming to Atlanta. Get to check out my boy and watch my team hopefully beat the Dodgers. So, anyways, appreciate you guys again. Thank you, chat, for all the participation. Aisha, I love you. Thank you for joining. Massey, thank you very much for joining. Cole's Cowboy, thank you very much for joining. And thank you again for shout out on your video this week. We appreciate that. And Montana, Smack Nation, we appreciate you as well. I'll see you guys next week.
Professor.
Peace. All right. Oh, he left too soon. Class was just dismissed.
Right.
Class was just dismissed. Outlaw Cowboy, my guy.
Bro, it's insane.
Also, he's on the East Coast as well. Yeah. Still rocking.
It's insane how athletic Let's Go is, man.
Yeah.
God's incredible.
He can move. Athlete. He can move to be that. And it's weird because he's so big. You would think that he would be like lanky or awkward. And it's not like that. He looks fluid. It looks very natural for him being out there.
Yeah, I need to try my best to reach out to Dane Brugler. About Let's Go, because if you should every year get Dane Brugler's draft guide. If you don't, like you're missing out like crazy. But if you look at his draft guide about Let's Go, he mentions that while he was at North Dakota, he fluctuated in his weight, and he had been up to 30 pounds heavier than he was at the time of the draft. And I kind of wonder, he didn't really dive deep into why he fluctuated in his weight, and I'm kind of want to know what was that about. So I'm actually planning to reach out to some people. I don't know if Dane will reply, but I'll try and see you shoot that shot. See if I can find out why he actually fluctuated in that weight. Was it a North Dakota coaches thing? Like they're like, oh, we want you lighter or something. I don't know to see, because so we know that he could put on 30 pounds. You know, we know that he could put on the weight, hopefully to help him out with his ability to build that muscle and you know, hopefully gain that strength to be able to hold up on that edge.
Yeah, and Mass, here's the thing, right? And for me, when I look at it and I think about it, is that maybe in an NFL stretch, in NFL training staff, and what's happening, we see it come and stick. Is where I'm at compared to the program that he's coming from, right? And literally, Spoonie, we had this conversation before, and I talked to you about it, and actually did this on a space as well. I was like, look, and obviously when I say this is, shoot for the moon, but if you miss, you're amongst the stars. Shout out to Beanie Siegel. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. If they end up in this draft, that Let's Go ends up being the left tackle, right? And number 73, programming alert moving throughout the season. Ty Smith, Tyler, all these. No, 73 and 77. That's where we are. And if 73 is the long-term guy at guard that you nailed in this draft, like what I'm talking about is these guys are going to be here for your consummate starters for say 6 years. I ain't gonna do the 10-year starter thing. Just the next 6 years, they're your left side. That's just a huge. This is a huge swing of things that could happen there, right? Not say that it's going to happen, but again, as Mass has kind of banged its head. But if y'all ain't follow, by the way, everybody that you want to follow us on Twitter, like Spoonie, Mass, and mine, that's us. Coast Cowboys, I think you got an underscore underneath yours, but you can find us within the realm of what our title is under here. Massey's been very high out the gate, even in our draft coverage. And look, if y'all want to see the draft coverage that we did throughout, and of course, if y'all missed, especially pick one, shout out to the clip and the posts out there about all of our live reactions that happened.
I got a Twitter violation and a warning. They took the video down because I put the "Hello Darkness, My Old Friend" song on it, and somebody reported me. Somebody reported, so I got a Twitter warning, hey, your account might be suspended next time you do this, and I was like, oh, okay.
Twitter did that.
We got to put the clip back up somewhere. I'll share it with
I could put the clip back up. Yeah,
we'll share it on the back channels.
Well, it might not do that no more.
Here's the thing: if you're here on this channel, you can scroll down to the draft day one coverage and forward to when the draft happened. Our pick happened, and you'll find it right there. It's right there. You can see it. It's on this channel, and it was great in general. But again, long term play though, if these things play out, man, it changes the current constitution of what this draft is. Even though I'm a little bit higher than say, who just left, Mass. I know you kind of came around a little bit more afterwards and whatnot. I'm still a smidge higher, but again, there's a lot of things here that can happen. In general.
Yeah. And going back to the let's go, and you're talking about the weight gaining and stuff like that, getting into NFL program. If you remember when Randy Gregory came, he was very thin, and he admitted that he had trouble putting on and maintaining weight. Like he would put on some, but then it would leave. He would get rid of it really quick, and he just couldn't maintain and put on a lot of weight. And it took him a few years in the NFL program to really start putting on. By the time he left, he was relatively good size,
Yeah,
but
he's pretty big.
It took him a few years to really get that weight to stay.
It's true. Aisha, you can eat on camera. We don't care.
No, I am starving.
Now, listen. You can't do the other thing.
No, I am so tired, y'all. I've been in class, so I'm gonna get out.
So you're gonna shower and eat, and then come over to the space? Is that what you're telling me?
I am going to sleep, Nick.
Oh,
yeah. I'm gonna ease on myself, guys.
I'm going to sleep.
Aisha, weak sauce.
It's early.
I'm getting.
Yeah, you feel me? It is early. Look, man, something with you. It's early, bro.
But I've been in class for 4 hours.
I worked 8-9 hours today.
I feel you, but I've been looking
at the screen. Look, I had to work on my EC and other things. Then I'm behind the screen too. I run a video game store. Guess how many screens I was behind it?
But I have migraines from my tinnitus from the booms and stuff. It's just it's a lot of stuff. So I gotta rest myself. Cody knows about that stuff in the trenches.
Your Call of Duty booms aren't the same as her booms, man.
Yeah. And
Aisha, you can rest tomorrow though.
No. I got stuff to do. I gotta clean my house tomorrow. I gotta get myself together for the week.
I had a chief, and when I was in the military in the Navy, and he used to tell me he was always working, always leave at 11, 12, get back there at 3 a.m. and I'm like, man, don't you ever sleep? And he told me, you can sleep when you're dead, man.
You know what it is? You know what it is?
Like that's what I did for so long. I'll be honest with y'all. I'm experiencing this as a veteran, getting out of the mindset, because when you are in the military, you're almost high anxiety all the time because you never know when they're gonna need you. So since I retired, when my body says rest, I allow it to, because this is one of the first times I'm starting to get into the habit of allowing myself to. So otherwise I would
burn
just
yourself
be
out.
I'm fine. I'm not almost 30.
It's nah. We
I'm
spoke.
44 going.
We spoke. We know where we at. Yeah, I've been retired for 6 years, and we're doing all the doubles and doubles and doubles of overtime and everything. It's like once I was done, it's like, whew. And BJ can tell you because that's my roomie. Every time we go with the Cowboy game, we always room together.
Y'all
And
really
he be
friends.
like,
Keep to me.
yo, Spoon.
I love it.
Yo, Spoon, you up? Yeah. It's the gummies. You know, I'm getting down.
Not out.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you this right now. With BJ, you will always be safe.
Oh yeah.
His alert. Once I'm out, a pin drop, I'm out. With BJ, what? I'm telling you, I am telling you. You know, so. You know, but yeah, it does. I understand where you at.
Hey, I tell you, and to be honest with y'all, look, I'll be completely clear. Man, I'm going nonstop. Like I am. I just am.
How do you do it?
Man, I'm built that way. I don't know. I really don't know.
You almost said I'm built.
You're a good one, man.
No, I'm gonna keep it real. BJ's passion. Everybody's different. Everybody's built different. His passion, even game day, before the game, when we out there in Dallas, he's already in tune. Before you even go to sleep, he's already ready. He skips over that. So when it comes to Cowboy blood, it's a wrap. You're gonna party, especially if we win. Oh, it's a wrap.
It's over with it.
Monday night, Massey, you was there, Massey.
Oh yeah, man.
Hold on, wait. Let's be clear. I wasn't on the table. Look. I wasn't on top of tables dancing though. Let's be clear.
Oh, yeah,
there was some other people there. No. I'll inbox you. We gonna put we gonna blast somebody on the channel.
It was me, Aisha. I was up there twerking on the table.
Massey. I should have known.
Maybe, but you know what? I definitely live by the if you stay ready, you gotta get ready. You feel me? And I'm always ready. In general. But you know, low key, man, I do love it. Look, if I'm into it and I'm about it, no matter what I'm in life, the Cowboys just happen to be a part of that in general. But I'm about it with Cole Scott. I'm about it with Mass. I'm about it with Aisha. I'm about it with everybody that's on this panel currently in general. But I'm about it, you know, in my everyday life. And look, y'all think y'all mad? Guess what? How you think my wife feels?
She's sick. Hey
man, I'll tell you. Nick, you said you hit me with that link, and you was like, hop on, and I was like, I gotta talk to the warden first, man. Like, I gotta clear this.
Yeah, you know what's so
be real, man. I swear.
Being a woman is that like imagine that but flipped. Like, you know how awkward it is for dudes. Like, I'll be up to 3-4 o'clock in the morning looking at film. And they be trying to talk to me when I was dating, like trying to talk to me, and I'll be like, back up off me. Back up off me. And so like it's just funny like hearing y'all talk about it, because now I really understand where people be coming from. Like, what are you doing? This isn't normal. Yes, it is. It's normal to me.
It was a time when we lost the game. I forgot what game when we lost the game, and we was on for a long time. So my wife asked me, she goes, "You still on?" This is emotional right now. Leave me be. I'm emotional right now. This is our mental health going on right here. This is important. We got to get this out of our mindset. Listen, let me tell you something. It's not easy. It is not easy when the Cowboys lose and we go to bed.
Because they don't just lose, we lose. Like, we have to deal with all of the extra stuff.
A little part of me dies, man.
At least with BJ, he's a boss. BJ's a boss. So being that he's a boss, they're gonna think twice. With me, I used to have to go in and they put stuff in the lockers. And, you know, I used to get tight. One day I went in late on purpose. It woke me up. I said, I don't care. Give me
the write up. Yeah.
Give me the write up. Motherfucker, I'm gonna show you this. You want to see what
write me up, man?
Look, I got it right here.
Here we go.
When you show me, I'm gonna go sleep.
Look.
Yeah.
Don't lie. Jerry's wipes. Jerry Swipe. That's how much I used to get it. My worst time ever. It's my last thing I have to say. My worst one ever was when the Giants beat the Cowboys in the playoffs when Patrick Creighton.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Come on, man.
And I was doing overtime.
That was a good time.
Let me tell you something. I was cussing everybody out.
No.
As Cowboys fans, we get it. We're gonna get the hit.
That was the worst,
Right.
man.
And they made a commercial out of that play too, yeah.
Do what now? Bring
I
that back.
saw they made a commercial out of that play, out of that Patrick.
Yeah, I
Creighton
think you're
play.
right. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm so glad I wasn't on Twitter for like
Well, here's the thing.
dance catch.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Is long-term Twitter stuff. And look, be clear. You got to scrub some things here and there. But before I was doing content creation, Patrick Creighton definitely has me blocked.
You should have him blocked.
I mean, maybe so, but fair enough. But you know what? Look, you know what? I was like this. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get this off though. So obviously, y'all know how he didn't run the route the right way. He catches the touchdown pass against the Giants, 13-3. So blah 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 blah. The drop pass on third down. Everything that it didn't enthuse. Fast forward a couple of years, and he's on Twitter talking whatever, and I'm like, and we get into it about that, and then he like hit me with the, well. Like we're back and forth. I'm like, bro, you didn't finish the route. Like, I ain't trying to hear about effort, blah blah blah. He's like, well, imagine because I know what started it. Because he was like, stop saying we, blah blah blah. And I was like, nah, that's not right. Because anything, the games that we go to, what we,
we're part of it.
Everything that we buy and everything that factors into what y'all doing. So yeah, it's absolutely we. So first and foremost, and this is what we're in before we pivot out of here, from my standpoint. Because there are certain people that are hey, welcome to the club, brother. Hey man, Friday nights, it is what it is. Shout out to the fiance though. Hey, blessings. Hope the marriage goes well. Hanging around here too long, don't get in trouble though. But shout out to the fiance. But anyways, because there are certain media members in general and whatnot, they'll say, oh, stop saying we, blah, 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 and all this and all these different things. I'm like, no, because it matters, because it factors into the money that goes into these teams and everything else. So if you have a season ticket or you're buying tickets to the game or you're buying the merch from the pro shops, from the teams and everything else, or guess what? Here's the new time now. When we talk about this new media that we're all a part of and moving, not the big corporations. Here's the thing about it. Take it to the bank. If you're clicking their shows that they do from the motherships for any team, not the Cowboys, just any team, and you're watching and doing that, whether it's YouTube, their channels, their Twitter, whatever, guess what? You're generating money for that organization.
Yep.
And that money goes into every single thing they do. So you damn right. It is we, not them. Yeah. So that's where me and Patrick Creighton crossed patterns, if you will. We crossed paths, I should say. Not patterns, because he didn't run one in the playoffs. But neither here nor there is, I was like, nah, bro, what we do and how we show up and support, that got you paid and whatever. And he was woody whoop. And then we got into the situation and he was like, well, and he went to the feelings. He was like, well, I hope your worst time ever was for the nation to see and blah, blah, blah. I said, it's not about that. It's just ownership, whatever. And then boom, I got the block. But at the end of the day, in the story I am telling here is, if anybody says stop saying we, it's bullshit. I'm sorry. Excuse the language. It's bullshit. If you time, money, and time is money, by the way, but you click, you spend money, you go to games, it's we at that point. Yeah. Period. Go ahead, Aisha.
I want to add before I go that in addition to that, like the responsibility of a content creator is great. Like heavy is the mantle, because you're not only I feel like what I say, even with the small amount of influence I have, like people look to that to get information about these players, to judge how, if they want to continue to support the Cowboys or go to the games and who to look for and if to be excited. So there's a level of responsibility that comes with it too, and connect with players. I also think I used to feel like that about the we thing too, because I give a lot of respect to the players because I understand I played the game. But at the same time, also, I feel like we really do, like you were saying, invest a lot of our time and stuff. And me growing, like I want to get interviews energy and stuff like that. And I think that once you get to that point, you start talking to players and meeting them in person and understanding their character. I mean, Massey, you were saying you can message somebody and ask about a guy. I don't know, on a personal level, you just start to respect these guys on a different level. Like this draft class in particular, I have a lot of respect for them as men. And so, I don't know. And like, I never grew up with a team. Like Dak and Zeke and all these guys are my first team really growing up with. So I do catch myself saying we and stuff like that because I'm like, I've been here.
Yeah.
I've been here.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. Some of the content, and some of the content creators that we not talking about myself, but the ones that we was like BJ, you guys. Let's be honest. I speak my mind, say the truth. These networks, some of these networks need to just swap out seats and put some of y'all in their seats because and I'm not just saying this because I'm in front of y'all. I'm just being honest. The reason why some of the people are poisoned, and this is why the new fan base is trolling more and X, Y, and Z, is because the wrong information is being put out there. I don't know if you're familiar with Billy Madison, the movie, and when the questionnaire, he goes, "What you just said, you just made the whole room dumber." I'm gonna be honest. There's a couple of guys right now with the ESPNs who sit there and all they do is they rehearse what they're gonna say. They're not coming out naturally. Matter of fact, I put it to you where if there was to even challenge any of y'all, they couldn't even hold your job strategy. Why? Because they don't study. Now, granted, if you're paying $1 million to troll, that's not hard to do. They're just making things up. But when it comes to information, they don't research. All they do, I remember Stephen A. Smith. Don't get me wrong, he's great at basketball. Love him. But I remember he was just trolled so much that on Sunday Night Football, Sunday regular football, he had joined the cast. He was trolling the Cowboys. They looked at him. By commercial, he was out of there. Let's be honest. The fan base is growing today. Now, I'm 40. I'm 42. BJ's 44, not to put our age out there.
Whoa. Hold on. Wait. Hold up.
I couldn't go by myself, man.
Wait. I'm not 44 till next month. Let me hold on to this 43. Okay. I'm 43. July 23rd, sure, crown me.
Oh, July 22nd, man.
Leo's in the
wait, hold on.
What it is? Leo's
July 22nd?
July 23rd, 22nd for Cole.
I'm 22nd.
I'm 22nd, man.
Oh yeah,
come on, man. Leo's in the building. Put the daggum line on here. Let's see. But low key.
No.
Listen, hold on. Until July 23rd, I'm 43. Now July 23rd, guess what? Put it out there, hashtag. I'm still tipping on fofos. I'm good then.
But you know what? It's like all you see is basically like PFF. We spoke about the other day. PFF, it can overvalue or it can devalue a player. You know what I mean? It's numbers. Numbers does not explain what happened during the game. It gives you the results of the stats, but it doesn't tell you how they got those numbers.
Stats with context.
And that's the problem.
Context is what we're big about. Yes.
Yeah.
The generation growing right now, all they want to do is troll. All they use is trolling material. It's not real, but that's something where the networks are creating.
Yeah.
What we do here, like Massey and BJ, I know while we was out there drinking in Vegas, the draft, these guys are here for hours, put it on that content. Now, the one thing that attracts me as a fan and as what I do is that I like to hear people's opinions. Now, when it comes to Massey, I saw the "well, let's go" thing. So what did I do? I grabbed that, took it, read up on it, making a chat. Yo, Massey, I can tell you, BJ, Blake Jarwin, when he got drafted, a lot of Cowboys fans, Blake Jarwin was overrated, X, Y, and Z. That last game with the Giants, when he went for 3 touchdowns, I was in the stadium. BJ called me. Boom, what I tell you. I'm here at the game, man. You got it. You're right. Absolutely correct.
Damn injuries.
That makes me want to cry.
That's the goal and gem of learning and understanding what you're watching. If you want to be lazy and just Google numbers and go back and forth trolling like the Philadelphia Eagles do, fan base all the time, then you don't know anything. If you're gonna say this team win the division all for paper, the draft, you're not watching the right thing. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, Spoon.
Don't eat
you
the
preach
shit.
it.
Don't start the shit. Don't repeat the damn bullshit.
Yeah.
That's what.
But you know, I mean, and look, and that's what we talk about a lot about new media and different things like that, and pivot your ass up out of the ESPNs and FS1s because it's not organic. It's predetermined.
just
I don't even watch
Did y'all, wait, real quick, Paul? Did y'all
I
hear
don't
the
even watch
beef
it anymore.
between Stephen A. Smith and?
They squashed it.
Woo!
Yeah,
About
who?
Hey, it was
Really?
real.
Oh, that's Skip Bayless.
Y'all didn't see that? I
Oh,
posted
yeah.
it.
So
Well,
what's,
hold on.
wait, rewind. Y'all said Skip and Steven, they got beef?
Yeah, they were having beef.
Stephen A. said that he carried first 10 without Skip. Skip responded, "Oh, it's beef."
Oh yeah,
Oh.
he squashed it though. Skip squashed it. Skip said it's still
Look.
cool.
Here's the thing. I ain't know shit about it. Cool. I was like, they had beef?
But
Look,
you know,
I was too busy watching this terrible ass verses of Marion and Dadgum Mario last night. If y'all didn't watch that, go watch it. Look, real quick, Mario petty, but shout out to Mario. He can sing. Marion, yeah, that's a whole different conversation, different time, different era. Real quick, we'll wrap it up this way here. So Aisha can go eat and do her thug thizzle. You feel me? I feel you. I feel you. I know Coach Cowboys over rubbing his eye. He's about to die over here. Y'all already know I'll be here. It's been 3 hours. We did the space for 2 hours. I've been doing content for 5 hours straight. Guess what though, Mass?
I'm bright-eyed, bushy-tailed.
Mass, it's early. Mass, we spacing after this or what?
Let's roll, man.
Let's do that, if y'all enjoyed this, if y'all enjoyed this, Matt, you want to come along for the ride? We know Aisha and Cole, Spoony, you.
Spoony. How about that? Paul, excuse me.
Yeah, Spoony, you want to come along for the space here?
He looking off camera.
I'm off.
Like, man, I got the time.
All right. Well, guess what? Smack Nation, Massey, me, we're gonna run it back. I'll tell you this though, and for me personally, shout to as we call her around here, Producer J. My daughter, who actually July 2nd, she'll be 24. She's the one that blessed us. Yeah, man. Come on, man.
That's my brother's birthday.
That's the month, man.
Let's go. But the only way to end the Freestyle Friday for me, because it gets me hyped and I enjoy it, it's gonna get me hyped for this space that we're about to launch. Me, Master Smacked, y'all week. Go ahead and go to sleep. You know what it is. I ain't talking noise about y'all, but it is. Yeah, rub your edges. Do what you got to do. I understand. I know it's all love. You know it's all love. But with that being said, I am going to run this daggum intro video because I love it so much. I can't help it. Yeah. Yeah, you feel me? Oh, yeah, she about to eat some food and gone. Cole Cowboy been rubbing his eyes for like 4 hours right now. I don't even know. He be like, God bless. I don't know what's going on.
I got test anxiety, so I didn't eat nothing because I had anxiety.
I know you did good, though. Look, but I support you. I know you're doing good, though. Mm-hmm. And on the backside of that, for Smacks and Coles, who maybe not rock with us at all, I know y'all came on, y'all been in some spaces or whatever. In case you don't know, they call me the Marathon Man.
Oh, I already know, man.
I was a sprinter.
No. The longest stream I've ever done is 16 hours.
Damn.
However, 5 to 6 hours, man, that's like that's like a mile for me. It's easy money.
Just know that we're gonna start this space, and you go to sleep. Just remember, when you wake up, check Twitter because Nick's might still be going.
That's happened before.
Yeah.
Well, I heard Vart said you held Jay Tuck in for 6 hours, man.
Hey, low key though, Jay Tuck used to be a marathon guy early on in his career. Early on in his content side, we were linking up or whatever, and it was good, and we was rolling. He's curated some. Here's the thing for me: once the switch is on, I'm just built that way. It don't matter. Look, everything we talked about the Cowboys tonight, we're going to mix it right over here into the space. I'll keep rolling. Like once the lights on, I don't care. And low key, here's the thing: I love it. I love rocking with all of y'all. I love everybody in the chat that I rock with, and I love it when it comes through. Like it's fun. It just is to me. And I mean, it just is what it is. But with that being said, we are going to pivot and let y'all go to sleep, Cole. Because the last thing we've had people in our spaces snoring and everything else. And here's what I know. Shout out to my guy Mario.
Yes.
Shout out to my guy Mario.
Snoring so loud.
They're snoring hell loud. And Cole, the one thing I don't want for you on the live, she was like, damn, Cole, took his camera down. What's that in the back? We don't want it for you. Look, I try to protect my people, but I'll warn everybody. Look, if you get the invite, y'all know what it is. Y'all gonna hit the private chat or inbox. Like, hey, Nix, I got to drop. Look, y'all saw earlier in the private chat. I got to drop. All right, let me pivot and get you up out of here. I'll keep going. And look, I got Mass, and this is what I love about Mass so much, and it helps me. Mass is on the West Coast. He's 2 hours behind me. So I know when everybody else is going to fail me, like all y'all in this chat right now, Mass is going to hold me down. Mass is like, it's early. I'm like, you're right, Mass. It's early.
No, it's not.
Go.
Hey, sometimes the Knicks be outlasting me too. I'm like, I'm done. I need to get
You
some
make the
sleep.
man, boy.
Hey, like I'm on graveyard shift right now.
Hey, somebody trying to.
Bro. Blessings, man.
Hey, look.
How
This is
trying
where
to
you get
find
it
out how
up.
to.
But BJ, I like that. The marathon, man. It has a ring to it.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I like the
Marathon,
marathon, man. I like
It is what it is, man. That's why we gave them subs. I'm gonna keep it growing. Again, Big Six fam, we appreciate y'all rocking with us. You know, we're gonna grow this thing throughout the year. I'm super excited. Like, we're into our 4th season. We made the pivot from what we used to be to what we are now. I mean, things are moving very rapidly for us, and we're excited about some things to come, and we're going to build before the season gets here. So with that being said, as 30 seconds down, it'll be 3 hours on this stream. I'm gonna hit this intro video for us to get out of here, and then come back through. Me, Mass, and Smacked on the Graveyard gonna be through. Aisha, I dare you. I dare you to get some food or whatever and jump on. I dare you.
No.
I double dog dare you.
For Tyrone.
Come on, Niece.
I
Come
did so
on.
much. Listen, I ain't
10-4.
Tyrone, you just yeah, there you go. Just follow BJ on Twitter and you'll see the space.
Oh, right there. Yeah, your guy Nix _ or at JMass. Follow us both. You'll never miss, because Mass be doing stuff too. And look, great podcast. Psst. And what we should call, look, here's how you can never forget about the podcast, because F the Hot Boys, sorry, that hurts feelings. There's only one thing. Look, when we talk about the Steelers, it's still curtain or bust, right?
Yep.
When we talk about the Cowboys defense, Doomsday. Period. I'm old. It is what it is. But before we get out of here, before we get up out of here, y'all know what it is. Drop that.
BJ Nix, are you here?
Present.
Present. Spoonie, Timothy Spoonie.
Present, sir.
Margaret and Mary. Do we have a Margaret and Mary?
Yes. And the margaritas.
All right. Class here. We're ready. Let's go.
Yes, let's go.
Okay.
Time to line up behind your team, to support your team, have faith in that team.
You know, it's peaks and valleys. You know, it can't always be good. And as I always tell people, you're never as good as you think you are, and you're never as bad as you think you are. But when we